Imagine for a moment that your presence, your warmth, your essence was woven into the fabric of someone's life so seamlessly, they never questioned it. Your love became like air to them everywhere, always as constant as the rising sun, so natural that it went unnoticed. Imagine your life as a quiet but powerful mirror, reflecting back to others what they choose to offer you. You don't push, you don't pull. Instead, you show up fully, allowing others to see themselves through the way they treat you. In this space, your presence becomes a silent teacher, a guide not through words, but through pure reflection. When people look at you, they are seeing themselves, even if they don't realize it. And when they treat you poorly or with indifference, you are simply giving them an honest view of the inner world they are choosing to live in. This mirroring isn't something you do intentionally, it's an energy that surrounds those who come close to you. If they bring warmth, they will see warmth in you. If they come with kindness, they will see kindness reflected in your actions. And if they approach with thoughtlessness, they will see, sooner or later, the absence of that warmth reflected back to them as well. What you give, what you withhold, and even what you say or don't say, serves as a testament to their own decisions. It's like placing them in a quiet, transparent room, where all their choices echo back at them, often in ways they don't expect. For some people, this reflection is welcome. They find joy in the harmony created when they offer respect and kindness, and they are met with it in return. They understand that your respect for them isn't something they can demand or manipulate, but rather something they must nurture through their own integrity. They come to realize that every moment they are in your presence, they are in fact choosing the kind of connection they wish to have, and they act accordingly, appreciating the depth and beauty that arises from this balance. Others, however, may come to this mirror in a different state. They may arrive with ego, with unkindness, or simply with neglect. They may take you for granted, assuming your light will shine regardless of how they treat you. They see themselves as separate, above, or more important. And for a while they may get exactly what they desire, a sense of control, or a superficial satisfaction. But eventually, when they look into your mirror, they'll start to feel the emptiness of their own actions. The warmth you once gave freely is withdrawn, and in its place they feel only the cold reflection of their own neglect. You don't have to do anything to make this happen. It is simply the natural order of things. In life, everyone is offered the mirror of their own actions, whether they realize it or not. Some may come to you expecting that no matter what they do, you will remain open, giving, and warm. But life is wiser than that. Life requires that every relationship be reciprocal, or it eventually comes to an end. When your kindness and patience meet with nothing in return, the mirror naturally darkens. When they look for you, they see only their own choices staring back. And in that moment, they begin to understand. This process can be painful for them, and perhaps even painful for you. After all, you did not enter their life with the intention of teaching them through absence or silence. You hoped that the connection would grow, that mutual respect would be the foundation upon which you both could build. But when that respect is absent from their side, the mirror reflects only what they offer, an empty space where kindness, care, and presence once were. The lesson is subtle, but powerful. They will come to see that their actions toward you were not just something they did to someone else. In reality, those actions were part of their own story, their own character. The reflection that once showed warmth now reveals their lack, their indifference, and perhaps even their ego. They begin to understand that the person they pushed away was not just a presence in their life, but a reflection of their own ability to give, to love, and to cherish. They learn that losing you was, in a sense, losing part of themselves. As you move forward, you do not need to wait for them to understand. You are free to walk your own path, knowing that your presence was true and that it offered them the clearest glimpse of themselves. You have offered them a gift, one that may take time for them to see fully. In losing you, they come face to face with the person they have chosen to be. And in time they may learn that a mirror, though silent, speaks the deepest truths. You were never there to change them, only to be present, to be yourself, and in doing so you have held up the most honest reflection they could ever see. They may feel the pain of this reflection, of realizing that you did not leave because you lacked love, but because they lacked the willingness to reciprocate it. and perhaps one day this truth will inspire them to change. But by then you will be far down the path of your own growth, and they will be left with the quiet echo of their own choices, mirrored back to them by the light they failed to hold on to. Absence is a strange teacher, one that often arrives uninvited yet leaves a lasting impression. When someone is present, their essence surrounds us, blending seamlessly with our world, often unnoticed. But in their absence, something profound begins to unfold. The spaces they once filled, their laughter, their companionship, even their silence become more pronounced, and their lack sharpens our awareness, intensifying the things we may have once overlooked. It's in the void that we realize the true impact they had, and the subtle ways they enriched our lives become evident in a way that presence alone could never reveal. Absence brings clarity by removing the distractions of routine and familiarity. In the comfort of daily interactions, it's easy to fall into a rhythm, often taking someone's presence for granted, seeing it as a given. But when they're no longer there, everything about them, their voice, their scent, the way they move through our lives echoes with new weight. The small moments they occupied become sharp reminders of what is now missing, and we start to understand the depth of their influence. This absence doesn't just create a space, it reveals what was hidden in plain sight all along. When we lose someone's presence, even temporarily, our minds naturally begin to revisit memories and experiences we shared. This revisiting isn't merely a nostalgic exercise, it's a journey of rediscovery. Memories that once felt routine now reveal layers of meaning. Perhaps there was an unspoken kindness in their actions, a thoughtfulness in their words, or a strength in their support that we didn't fully appreciate when they were close. It's only in absence that these subtleties become visible, and we realize the profound impact they had on shaping our own lives. Every gesture, every word now carries a weight it didn't seem to have before. In the emptiness of absence, our own inner landscape shifts. Where once we may have leaned on them, now we must find balance on our own. This can feel daunting, as though a safety net has been pulled away, forcing us to confront parts of ourselves we may have ignored. But there is also an unexpected gift in this solitude, a heightened awareness not only of them but of ourselves. We begin to understand the ways they complemented our strengths and supported our weaknesses. Their absence illuminates parts of us that only they could see, reflecting back the subtle ways they brought out our best or made us feel whole. Sometimes, this sharpening of awareness brings a mix of regret and gratitude. We may find ourselves wishing we had said more, shown more appreciation, or spent more time in those ordinary moments. Absence can magnify this sense of loss, as we come face to face with the reality of what we can no longer change. Yet within this regret lies a profound lesson and invitation to cherish others more deeply, to be more present, and to recognize the value of those who walk with us in life. It teaches us that time is fleeting, and that presence is a precious gift that should never be taken lightly. Absence also sharpens awareness by revealing the truth about the connections we form. There are times when someone's absence feels like a deep, irreplaceable loss, a reminder that they were an integral part of our lives. Other times, absence may reveal that the relationship was more fragile than we realized, that perhaps we were holding onto a connection that no longer served us. In either case, absence serves as a mirror, reflecting the true nature of our relationships and allowing us to see what remains and what has faded. It's an opportunity to reevaluate, to let go of what no longer resonates, and to embrace what truly matters. Through this process, we come to understand that absence is not merely the lack of presence, but an active force of revelation. It opens our eyes to what was once hidden in familiarity, prompting us to see the beauty in those we love, even when they're no longer near. It teaches us that love and appreciation are often silent, growing in the background, only fully realized in their departure. And so as we move forward, we carry with us the lessons of absence, a deeper appreciation for those who enrich our lives, a heightened awareness of the impermanence of every moment, and the understanding that presence is a gift to be cherished. Absence invites us to become more mindful, more intentional with our time and attention. It reminds us that life is not simply a series of days, but a collection of shared experiences and connections that shape who we are. And as we learn to honor these moments, To see them with fresh eyes, we carry within us a sharper, more grateful heart. Whether or not someone returns, we are forever changed by the awareness absence has brought. We see life with a depth and clarity that can only come from loss, a gift that turns even sorrow into an act of appreciation. In this way, absence doesn't just sharpen our awareness of others, it sharpens our awareness of ourselves and of the fleeting, sacred nature of human connection. It asks us to live in the present with an open heart, so that we may experience the fullness of those we love without the regret of missed moments. Through absence, we are reminded that life, fragile and finite, is to be lived with gratitude. For every shared moment is a treasure, every goodbye a lesson, and every return a blessing. Regret is one of life's most profound teachers, arriving unannounced yet leaving an indelible mark. Unlike other emotions, regret is often persistent, sitting heavily in the heart and mind, replaying missed chances, unsaid words, or paths untaken. It becomes a weight we carry, sometimes daily, and though uncomfortable, this weight has a unique power to transform us. Regret is a powerful teacher because it forces us to look back, not just to remember, but to confront our choices, to understand our actions, and to imagine how things might have been different. It doesn't exist to punish us, but to guide us toward growth and awareness, helping us live more intentionally moving forward. At its core, regret arises from a gap between our actions and our values. It often stems from a decision made hastily or an opportunity ignored out of fear or complacency. In the moment, it's easy to overlook these things. We can convince ourselves that it wasn't the right time, that there will be another chance, or that a particular choice won't matter in the long run. But when we look back and realize the impact of our actions or inactions, we begin to understand how precious each choice really is. Regret teaches us that the present moment is fleeting and that we often take for granted the opportunities that may never come again. For many, regret is most sharply felt in relationships. It might be a friend we drifted from, a loved one we failed to appreciate, or words spoken in anger that can never be taken back. We often don't recognize the importance of these people or moments until they're gone, and only then do we understand the weight of our actions. Regret reminds us that people are not infinite resources. They have their own journeys, their own limits, and sometimes when we take them for granted, we lose them. This loss, intensified by regret, teaches us to be more attentive, kinder, and more appreciative of the people who enrich our lives. The weight of regret can be a powerful motivator. It pushes us to confront uncomfortable truths about ourselves, truths that might have been hidden beneath our ego or pride. When we feel the ache of regret, we are forced to admit that we could have done better, that we could have shown more patience, more courage, or more kindness. This realization isn't always easy, but it's a necessary part of personal growth. Regret strips away our excuses and defenses, showing us the raw truth of who we were in that moment. It's a painful but essential lesson, one that urges us to strive for integrity, to act in alignment with our true values, and to live without fear of future regrets. In its silent way, regret also encourages empathy. By feeling the pain of our own missed opportunities or mistakes, we become more understanding of others who might be struggling with similar burdens. We learn to be less judgmental, recognizing that everyone carries their own regrets, their own stories of loss or failure. This shared humanity makes us more compassionate, more willing to forgive others as we learn to forgive ourselves. Regret humbles us, reminding us that we are all flawed, that we all make mistakes, and that growth often comes from accepting and learning from these experiences rather than denying or suppressing them. It's crucial to understand that regret is not meant to be a permanent burden. While it can serve as a powerful teacher, its purpose is not to keep us stuck in the past. Instead, it should inspire change, urging us to live more fully and wisely in the present. If we allow regret to consume us, it becomes a form of self-punishment, one that prevents us from moving forward. The true lesson of regret lies in its ability to teach us and then encourage us to let go. It's about honoring the lesson without letting the pain define us. Regret teaches us to live with greater awareness, to be more conscious of the choices we make each day. It reminds us that we can't always rely on second chances or assume that tomorrow will come. With this awareness, we learn to appreciate the moments we have, to speak with honesty, and to love without holding back. Regret challenges us to be present, to act with courage, and to honor our values in every interaction, so that when we look back, we can do so with a sense of fulfillment rather than sorrow. Regret can transform us if we let it. It can guide us toward a life lived with intention, helping us to understand what truly matters. When we embrace the weight of regret and allow it to teach us, we become more resilient, more compassionate, and more aligned with our deepest values. And though we may still carry the memories of those missed opportunities or unwise choices, they serve not as sources of pain, but as reminders of the lessons learned. We begin to see that regret is not just a shadow of our past mistakes, but a beacon guiding us toward a brighter, more mindful future. So we honor regret by allowing it to sharpen our awareness, to deepen our empathy, and to inspire us to live with greater purpose. Through regret, we become more authentic, more aligned with who we want to be, and more determined to make choices that reflect the best of ourselves. Regret may be a heavy burden, but it is also a gift, one that, when embraced, has the power to transform our lives in profound and lasting ways. When someone with a profound presence leaves our lives, a void emerges not just in our physical space, but in the unseen, often subtle energy they brought with them. This isn't simply a matter of missing a person, it's about the emptiness left by their unique essence, the way they made us feel, and the impact of their energy on our own. They were a force that colored our days, shaped our interactions, and held a place in our hearts. In their absence, it's as though a part of us is missing too, something intangible yet undeniably felt. Their energy leaves a void, one that can be both painful and enlightening. In any meaningful relationship, energy flows back and forth, creating a balance between giving and receiving, nurturing and being nurtured. This energetic exchange often happens beneath our awareness, woven into daily routines, conversations, and even shared silences. We grow accustomed to this flow, allowing it to shape our experiences and in many ways define who we are. Their laughter, compassion, or simple presence become threads in the fabric of our lives, so subtly integrated that we hardly notice. But when they're gone, these threads unravel, leaving spaces that feel raw and exposed, and we suddenly become aware of how much we relied on their energy. This void left by their absence is not just an emotional ache, it is a shift in the energetic fabric of our lives. The space they occupied was filled with a unique frequency, one that may have uplifted us, inspired us, or simply offered a sense of calm and grounding. Without it, we feel the imbalance, a sense of something important being out of place. It's as if the colors of our world have faded slightly, and we're left navigating an emptiness we don't fully understand. This absence is a silent reminder of their significance, a reminder that they brought something irreplaceable into our lives, something that cannot be easily filled by anyone else. In many ways, this void teaches us about ourselves too. When someone leaves, we are left with our own energy, our own thoughts and emotions, without the buffer of their influence. We may begin to feel things more intensely, as though their presence once absorbed some of the impact of life's challenges, and now we're left exposed. In their absence, we become more aware of our own vulnerabilities, our own needs and desires. We start to realize how their energy complemented ours, how it supported us in ways we might not have fully acknowledged. It's a stark but valuable realization, one that invites us to explore parts of ourselves that may have been hidden in their presence. This void can also act as a mirror, reflecting back to us the parts of ourselves we may have projected onto them. Sometimes we look to others to fulfill aspects of ourselves that we feel are lacking. In their presence, we feel whole, grounded, or inspired. But when they're no longer around, we're left facing the reality that these qualities are not necessarily theirs to provide, but are perhaps aspects we need to cultivate within ourselves. Their absence shines a light on the parts of us that need nurturing and growth, teaching us that while their energy was a beautiful addition to our lives, our own energy is something we must also honor and develop. Over time, this void can serve as a source of growth. As much as we may long to fill it, it remains challenging us to learn adapt, and ultimately transform. This void asks us to become more self-reliant, to generate within ourselves the qualities we once found in them. If they brought peace, we must find peace within. If they were a source of inspiration, we must learn to inspire ourselves. In doing so, we do not replace them or diminish their impact. Rather, we honor them by becoming stronger, wiser, and more complete individuals. The void left by their energy can also remind us of the importance of connection, of the fact that we are all bound together in ways that transcend physical presence. Their absence reminds us of how deeply human we are, how we are each both individual and interconnected. The space they occupied remains a testament to the beauty of shared energy, of the unique impact one person can have on another. And while it may take time, this void gradually transforms from a painful absence into a quiet gratitude, a gratitude for having had the chance to know them, to share in their energy, and to carry forward the lessons they unknowingly left behind. The void left by their energy does not have to be filled. Instead, it can be integrated into our lives as a reminder of love, connection, and growth. We learn to live with it, allowing it to shape us in ways we may not have chosen, but which deepen our capacity to feel and connect. Their energy may no longer be present, but the void it leaves holds a kind of wisdom, one that teaches us about our resilience, our capacity to grow, and the beauty of shared existence. In time, we may even come to appreciate the void for what it represents, a reminder of the impact one soul can have on another, of the way energy weaves us together, and of the strength we gain in learning to navigate life's inevitable absences. The void remains, but it shifts from sorrow to understanding, from loss to a deeper sense of the gift that connection truly is. And in that understanding, we carry forward their energy, honoring it not by trying to replace it, but by allowing it to transform us in ways that help us to live more fully. There's something undeniably powerful about a person's influence. It's an intangible force, woven quietly into everyday interactions, shaping others in ways they might not even realize until that person is gone. True influence doesn't shout, it doesn't demand attention. Instead, it leaves an indelible mark on hearts and minds, subtly guiding, inspiring, and uplifting others in ways that last long after the person has departed. When you have genuinely touched people, your influence continues to echo in their thoughts, actions, and decisions. Over time, they come to recognize the impact of your presence, often more deeply than when you were actively a part of their lives. They will see the mark you left, and they will feel the weight of your influence. Real influence is rooted in authenticity. It's not about trying to impress or control others. It's about living in alignment with your values and letting those values shape your interactions with those around you. When people encounter someone who lives authentically, it leaves a lasting impression. Authenticity is magnetic because it's rare. Many people put on masks or conform to social expectations, but those who show up as they are, who act in integrity with their true selves, create a safe space for others to do the same. This authenticity is contagious. It encourages others to reflect, to be honest with themselves, and to act from a place of integrity. Influence often works in subtle, unseen ways. It's in the quiet advice you gave that they remember in a moment of doubt, or in the encouragement you offered that surfaces when they face a challenge. Perhaps they don't notice these nudges right away, but over time, the influence you had on their thoughts and perspectives becomes evident. The seeds you planted start to grow, often when they need it most. They might hear your words in their mind when they're about to make a decision, or feel a surge of motivation inspired by something you once said. This is the true power of influence, not control, but inspiration, awakening something within them that perhaps they didn't even realize was there. In the realm of relationships, influence goes beyond words. It's in how you made others feel. People may forget specific things you said, but they'll remember how you respected them, how you showed up, and how you made them feel seen and valued. Your presence creates a ripple effect. Your kindness inspires kindness, your resilience inspires strength, and your patience teaches patience. These qualities, shared through example rather than instruction, sink deep, shaping the ways others interact with themselves and with those around them. Influence is subtle, but it runs deep, connecting with people on an emotional and often subconscious level. People often recognize influence most acutely in times of hardship or growth. When they encounter difficulties, they may find themselves looking back on your actions or advice for guidance. In these moments, they see the depth of your impact. They recognize that the wisdom you shared wasn't just superficial, it was something born from experience, strength, and genuine care. They begin to understand that your presence in their lives was not accidental or inconsequential, but an essential part of their journey, shaping them into who they are becoming. When someone has genuinely impacted us, we carry their influence forward, often without even realizing it. They become a part of our inner narrative, a voice that speaks to us long after they're gone. We take their values and perspectives with us, integrating them into our own. The people you impact in this way, though they may drift apart or move on, will continue to carry your influence, passing it down to others in ways that echo through time. This is the beauty of true influence. It's a legacy, something that lives on in the hearts and minds of those you've touched. Those who experienced your influence may come to a moment of realization. They'll see how much they've grown, how they've changed for the better, and they'll recognize your role in that transformation. Perhaps they'll look back on a past version of themselves and realize how far they've come because of the strength, courage, or wisdom they absorbed from you. In this recognition, they feel both gratitude and respect for the impact you had. It's often only in hindsight, in looking back over time, that people truly see the weight of someone's influence on their lives. Influence is a gift, a quiet legacy that each person leaves behind. It's not something you necessarily try to create or control. It's simply a byproduct of living in alignment with your values, showing up authentically and caring deeply. When you've influenced someone genuinely, it's something they feel forever. They carry pieces of you with them, consciously or unconsciously, in their words, choices, and the energy they bring into the world. So trust in the power of your influence. Know that when you live with integrity, when you're kind, patient, and honest, you're creating an impact that goes far beyond the present moment. The people around you will see it, feel it, and carry it forward, spreading it in ways you may never witness, but that ripple out endlessly. In this way, your influence becomes a part of the fabric of the world, an unseen but enduring force for good. Profound that happens in silence. When you choose to step back and withdraw your energy, you leave behind a stillness that others are often unprepared to face. This silence is powerful because in your absence, others lose the external stimulus you once provided: the guidance, support, reassurance, or distraction. What's left in that empty space is themselves, laid bare in a way they may not have encountered before. In the silence, they're compelled to confront parts of themselves they may have ignored or overlooked, forced to meet themselves in ways that are both challenging and revealing. This is where true self-reflection begins, and often it's in this silence that they start to recognize things they were previously blind to. Silence can be uncomfortable. Many people avoid it, filling their lives with noise, distraction, or the presence of others. It's easier to ignore inner conflicts, insecurities, or regrets when there is a constant hum of activity or the voices of others to mask it. Your presence may have offered them comfort or even allowed them to avoid facing certain truths about themselves. But once you step back, the noise fades away and they're left with an unfamiliar quiet that amplifies everything they've been trying to avoid. It's in this quiet that their true self is revealed, not the version they show to the world, but the person they are when no one is watching. The silence you leave behind isn't empty, it's full of potential for growth, reflection, and change. When people are forced to sit with their thoughts and feelings without the cushion of someone else's presence, they become more aware of their own needs, desires, and fears. They may begin to see where they've been projecting their own insecurities onto others, or where they've been relying too heavily on external validation instead of cultivating inner peace and self-worth. Your absence becomes a mirror, showing them things about themselves they may have been unwilling to acknowledge before. They meet parts of themselves that are raw, unrefined, and at times uncomfortable. Yet, this confrontation is essential for real personal growth. For some, the silence may lead to a realization of how much they relied on you, Perhaps they took your presence, your kindness, or your support for granted. Without you there, they start to see the gaps in their own lives, the ways in which they depended on you to feel whole or validated. They may recognize how they leaned on you to avoid dealing with their own insecurities or unresolved issues. In this silence, they are compelled to reckon with their own accountability, understanding that the emptiness they feel is not something you created but something that was always within them, merely masked by your presence. It's a humbling realization that they must look within for what they once sought from you. There is a chance for them to learn self-sufficiency. When they no longer have you to turn to, they must find ways to navigate life independently. This is where resilience grows, where they discover that they can stand on their own 2 feet. The silence you left challenges them to tap into their own inner strength, to cultivate their own peace, and to learn to rely on themselves for fulfillment and security. It's an invitation to grow, to rise to the occasion, and to step into their own power. The discomfort they initially feel may eventually transform into confidence, as they learn that they are capable of meeting their own needs and finding strength within. In some cases, the silence also serves as a reminder of their own behaviors and choices. They may start to see the consequences of actions they once justified or overlooked. And if they treated you unfairly, neglected your needs, or took you for granted, these actions now stand out starkly against the quiet you left. The silence holds them accountable, forcing them to reflect on what they might have done differently. This self-awareness, though painful, is often necessary for genuine change. It allows them to see the impact of their actions, and perhaps to make amends not necessarily to you, but to themselves and others they may encounter in the future. Your absence teaches a lesson that words often cannot convey. By stepping back, you show them that you won't always be there to fill the gaps or provide a shield against self-reflection. You're giving them the space to realize that they must look inward for answers and take responsibility for their own growth. This silence may be one of the most powerful gifts you could give, because it leads them to self-discovery, growth, and a deeper understanding of who they are. Through this process, they learn that peace and fulfillment are not found in the presence of others, but within themselves. The silence you create serves as a transformative experience. It's an invitation for them to confront, understand, and embrace themselves fully. They may come out of this experience changed, more grounded, more self-aware, and perhaps even more appreciative of the value others bring to their lives. In the end, the silence becomes a teacher, showing them parts of themselves they might have avoided or denied, guiding them to a greater understanding and acceptance of who they are. And in meeting themselves in this silence, they gain the strength and wisdom to be better not only for themselves but for everyone they encounter moving forward. Stepping back and allowing silence to fill the space you once occupied becomes a profound gift, a lesson in reflection, growth, and self-discovery. In that stillness, others are compelled to meet parts of themselves they may have long ignored, realizing the strength, responsibility, and self-worth that lie within. Sometimes the greatest impact we make is felt in our absence, when others learn to stand on their own and recognize the true value of connection, respect, and presence. By leaving this space, you offer them a chance to see their own reflection, unfiltered and honest, and to evolve through it. Thank you for embracing this powerful truth. It is a reminder to honor yourself, your boundaries, and your worth, and to let others rise in the silence left behind. Every soul is born with divine intent. The exact moment you entered this world was woven into the universe with precise care, guided by a purpose far greater than we can initially grasp. God does not act without purpose, and the date of your birth is no exception. It is a sacred marker, a point in time and space chosen just for you. Imagine that the moment of your birth was not just a stroke of biological or cosmic coincidence. Instead, it was a perfectly orchestrated event woven into the fabric of the universe, a precise alignment set in motion by divine intention. The timing of your arrival, down to the very minute, carries a purpose that stretches beyond comprehension, beyond the visible and immediate. You came into this world at a time chosen by a force that understands you in ways even you do not yet fully understand. To think that your birth could be random would be to overlook the intricacies of a universe where nothing is left to chance. In every moment of existence, there's a mysterious harmony that pulses through all things. This harmony, a rhythm set by divine design, moves through the universe like the flow of an unseen river, carrying with it not only the stars in their courses but the hearts of people too. It is into this river of harmony that you were born. Every cycle of life, night and day, season to season, has its unique time, its right moment to emerge, grow, and transform. Similarly, you emerged into the world when the timing was right, when the conditions were ideal for the specific soul that you are. It's as though the universe knew it needed your presence exactly when you arrived, to fulfill something only you could bring into being. Think about the constellations of events and circumstances that surrounded your birth. The people, the environment, the period in history, all of it formed a backdrop essential to the kind of life you were meant to live. Every element served as a foundation, creating conditions that would shape, test, and refine you. Your birth wasn't just a starting point, but a point of alignment, synchronizing your arrival with a set of experiences designed for your growth. Even if circumstances may not have seemed perfect or desirable, they were the right soil for the seed of your purpose to take root and unfold over time. The timing of your birth also connects you to the greater flow of time and history. Every soul that enters the world brings with it the potential to influence and change. This power doesn't always manifest in grand, earth-shattering ways. Sometimes it's in the subtleties, the quiet influence you have on those around you. Still, there's an undeniable ripple effect that each of us contributes, simply by being part of the world's ongoing story. Your birth timing aligned you with a specific chapter of this story. It's as if God planted you within a particular segment of history where you could best serve, learn, and grow. When you reflect on the timing of your birth, consider that it placed you in touch with generations past and future. The past because it set the stage for the environment into which you were born, and the future because it allowed you to lay down seeds for generations yet to come. You are part of a lineage, a chain in which your own choices, values, and actions create links that reach forward. The divine timing of your birth, then, isn't isolated. It's part of a continuum, connecting you to the vast unfolding of human experience. There's a specific strength or wisdom that only you carry, qualities that were placed within you to respond to the particular circumstances of the era you were born into. Every generation has unique challenges, but they also have the individuals they need to face those challenges. You were born at the right time, given the strengths and abilities necessary to engage with the issues and opportunities that would arise in your lifetime. This divine timing means that, at your core, you are built to succeed within the context of your era. Understanding the divine timing of your birth can open up a deeper sense of purpose. Once you recognize that you were born at precisely the right moment, that your soul chose to enter the world when it did, you may start to see your experiences differently. Each moment, then, holds something valuable to offer you on your journey, teaching you lessons and helping you grow in ways essential to your purpose. Life's obstacles can become gifts, seen as part of the divine training for the life you're meant to live. Rather than feeling out of place or time, you begin to understand that you are exactly where you are meant to be. Knowing that there was a purpose in the timing of your birth instills a profound trust. It allows you to move forward with a confidence grounded in something far greater than yourself. It reminds you that you belong here, that there is a place and time meant for you, and that every experience, every challenge, and every joy has a role in shaping you into the person you are meant to become. This sense of divine timing is more than a reassurance. It is an invitation to live with an openness to all that life brings, to embrace it with gratitude and curiosity. It is an invitation to honor the moment of your birth as sacred, knowing that the God who set the stars in their courses also knew the right time for you. Your birth date is more than a marker on the calendar. It is a spiritual signature that carries the essence of your soul's journey, a silent whisper from the universe that reflects who you are at a core level. Consider that this date, the exact day, month, and year you entered the world, holds specific energetic qualities that resonate with you uniquely. When you start to view your birth date as a code or a symbol, you open yourself up to understanding your purpose and path in ways you might have previously overlooked. Your birth date then becomes a guide, a cosmic signature that captures the truth of who you are meant to become. Each number within your birth date has its own vibration, a rhythm that pulses with meaning. For centuries, people have believed that numbers carry spiritual significance, from ancient philosophers and mystics to cultures across the world. Numbers aren't arbitrary, they're expressions of patterns, sequences, and cycles. Your birth date is a combination of numbers that reflects certain characteristics, potentials, and inclinations that are woven into your very being. It's as if these numbers hold a mirror up to your soul, revealing hidden strengths, tendencies, and areas for growth. They act as signposts, quietly directing you toward the unique path your spirit is here to explore. Your birth date, then, doesn't just reflect who you are as an individual, it also ties you to a larger cosmic dance. Imagine that the universe is a vast ocean with waves that rise and fall in cycles. Your birth date is like a drop within this ocean, a part of the grand pattern. This doesn't diminish your individuality, but rather it situates you within a harmonious whole. Understanding this helps you recognize that your life is interconnected with a greater purpose, one that goes beyond the self. Your spiritual signature contributes to the unfolding story of the universe, adding your unique note to the divine symphony. For those who take time to reflect on their birth date and explore its significance, there often emerges a deeper sense of self-acceptance. There's a knowing that arises when you understand that you were born precisely as you were meant to be. You stop comparing yourself to others or wishing you were different. Instead, you begin to embrace your qualities, both light and shadow, as parts of your spiritual signature. Each trait, challenge, and gift becomes a piece of the puzzle that makes up your authentic self. Rather than resisting these aspects, you learn to see them as essential elements that allow you to fulfill your purpose. In recognizing your birth date as a spiritual signature, you realize that it's a source of guidance, a map for the soul. Every time you face uncertainty or feel disconnected, this signature calls you back to center, reminding you of the qualities and strengths that are inherently yours. When you reflect on your birth date, it becomes a grounding force, reconnecting you with your purpose and reminding you that you are exactly where you need to be. Understanding your birth date as a spiritual signature is a powerful affirmation of your worth and uniqueness. It's a reminder that you are here for a reason, that your presence contributes to the world in ways only you can. The journey to understanding this signature isn't always straightforward, but with each step you move closer to the truth of who you are. Your birth date is more than a point in time, it is an eternal imprint of the divine intention that brought you into being. Embrace it, and you embrace yourself. Within each person lies a unique blueprint, an encoded plan or map that holds the potential of who they are meant to become. Imagine this blueprint as a detailed design crafted with purpose by a higher power. Every characteristic, strength, challenge, and aspiration you possess is woven into this life map, waiting to be realized and expressed. Unlocking your life's blueprint is an invitation to tap into the depths of your being, to discover the profound purpose and direction that is specifically aligned with your soul's journey. This blueprint isn't something that is immediately apparent from the moment you are born, rather, it unfolds gradually, revealing itself as you engage with life. Think of it as a puzzle in which each experience, relationship, and insight forms a piece. Every choice you make brings you closer to understanding the larger picture. This gradual discovery allows you to integrate and embody the lessons you need, shaping you in ways that align with your true purpose. The process of unlocking this blueprint requires patience, trust, and a willingness to explore all aspects of yourself. One key to understanding your blueprint lies in recognizing that your inner desires and dreams are not random. The visions and goals that ignite your spirit are clues to the path you're meant to follow. When you feel a deep calling or passion, it's a signal from your blueprint, pointing you toward an area where you can grow, contribute, and find fulfillment. These desires resonate with your soul. Because they align with your design, they are the expression of who you are meant to be in this world. Ignoring them or suppressing them only creates discord, a sense of dissatisfaction that lingers as a reminder of unfulfilled potential. Life's blueprint doesn't only contain dreams and aspirations, it also includes the challenges you'll encounter. These challenges are not meant to be obstacles but opportunities for growth, resilience, and self-discovery. They are placed within your path to refine you, to draw out strengths and qualities that might otherwise remain dormant. Often, these challenges bring you closer to understanding your life's purpose, as they reveal the depth of your character and the power you hold within. Unlocking your blueprint means accepting these moments as integral to your journey, viewing them as necessary steps that shape you into who you are meant to be. As you unlock your life's blueprint, you also come to understand the importance of self-reflection and inner work. This is a journey that requires you to look within, to ask questions that go beyond the surface. What are your core values? What do you truly want to create in this world? When you take time to connect with your inner self, you start to see patterns and themes that are repeated throughout your life. These patterns are signposts, guiding you toward the purpose embedded within you. Self-reflection allows you to shed layers of conditioning, discovering the authentic self beneath, and this is where the blueprint becomes clearer. The people in your life are also part of your blueprint. Every significant relationship, every encounter has a purpose in shaping your journey. Some people come into your life to support and uplift you, while others may challenge you in ways that prompt growth. Each relationship holds a lesson, reflecting aspects of your inner self and pushing you to evolve. By recognizing the role each person plays in your life, you begin to see the intricate design of your blueprint. Even difficult relationships, in retrospect, often reveal themselves to have been essential for your development, helping you understand parts of yourself that you may not have seen otherwise. Unlocking your life's blueprint also involves aligning with the natural flow of life, rather than resisting it. Many people spend their lives fighting against circumstances, attempting to control every detail, but true fulfillment comes when you learn to trust in the unfolding process. This trust allows you to surrender to a higher plan, one that holds a deeper wisdom than you can perceive. When you learn to work with life rather than against it, you find that opportunities and insights come more easily, guiding you further along your path. Trusting this process doesn't mean being passive, it means acting with intention, knowing that you are supported by a greater force. Spiritual practices such as meditation, prayer, or journaling can be powerful tools for connecting with your blueprint. These practices help quiet the noise of the outer world, allowing you to tune into the inner voice that is constantly guiding you. When you take time to engage in these practices, you tap into a higher wisdom, gaining clarity on the steps you need to take. Your blueprint speaks to you in these quiet moments, offering guidance that feels right, even if it defies logic. By creating space for this inner dialogue, you open yourself to insights that can reveal the next steps on your journey. Every aspect of nature reflects this harmonious rhythm. Day transitions to night, winter to spring, birth to death, and then rebirth. Each phase of these cycles is essential, holding a unique energy and purpose that contributes to the whole. The darkness of night isn't merely the absence of light, but a time for rest, rejuvenation, and introspection. The cold of winter isn't a barren wasteland, but a sacred pause, a time when life turns inward, storing energy in preparation for the spring. By respecting each part of the cycle, you come to appreciate the necessity of every stage, recognizing that each has something to offer. One powerful way to align with these cycles is to observe and respect them in your daily life. The more closely you connect with nature's rhythms, the more you feel the sacred harmony that surrounds you. Rise with the sun, align your energy with the shift from morning's productivity to evening's relaxation. Honor the changing seasons by adjusting your lifestyle to match their energy. Through these small actions, you bring yourself into greater alignment with the universal cycles. They aren't abstract concepts, but are woven into the fabric of your existence, affecting everything from your emotions to your energy levels. In recognizing the sacred harmony of these cycles, you begin to understand that there is no such thing as true stagnation. When things seem still, when life feels quiet, you are in a different part of the cycle, a resting point, a gathering of energy, a preparation for what is to come. These quiet times are as essential as moments of high activity and change. They provide space for reflection, healing, and recalibration, allowing you to grow in strength and wisdom. Just as plants need both sunlight and shadow, you too need both action and rest to reach your full potential. By understanding universal cycles, you may also gain a new perspective on timing. Often we want things to happen immediately, overlooking the fact that life unfolds in stages, each at its own pace. When you plant a seed, it does not sprout overnight. It takes time, nurturing, and the right conditions to grow. The same is true for your dreams, your goals, and your personal growth. There are times for planting, times for tending, and times for harvesting. When you align with these phases, you cultivate patience, recognizing that things happen not when you demand them to, but when the time is right. The cycles of the universe teach us that harmony doesn't mean a constant state of balance, but rather a dynamic flow between contrasting forces. Light and dark, creation and destruction, fullness and emptiness, each is necessary, each is sacred. Through this understanding, you see that your own life's challenges are not disruptions, but elements of a larger pattern that is guiding you toward growth and self-realization. Each difficulty is an invitation to delve deeper, to find balance within, and to trust in the wisdom that orchestrates these cycles. The sacred harmony of universal cycles reminds us of our connection to something greater. You are not isolated in your struggles or triumphs, but are part of an interconnected web of life that follows the same patterns and rhythms. Embracing this connection allows you to move with life rather than against it, honoring each moment and phase for what it brings. This alignment with the universal cycles transforms your perception, inviting you to live with an awareness of the sacred rhythm that flows through all things. In doing so, you find peace, purpose, and a profound sense of belonging in the vastness of the cosmos. Imagine that your life has a unique purpose, one that was set in motion before you were even born, woven into the fabric of the cosmos. This purpose, this calling, is intricately tied to the stars. Just as every star has its place in the universe, shining and contributing to the night sky's beauty, so too do you have a place and purpose that radiate outward, influencing the lives around you and shaping the world in subtle, profound ways. Your purpose is not random or accidental. It's an essential part of a greater cosmic design, a personal path that the stars have outlined for you. Looking to the heavens, it becomes clear that the universe operates with a sense of order, a rhythm that connects all things. The planets, stars, and galaxies move in harmony with each other, and within this grand design lies a reflection of our own lives. This connection has been recognized by ancient cultures across the globe. Astrology, for instance, is based on the understanding that the position of the stars and planets at the time of your birth offers insight into your personality, strengths, and even your life's purpose. It suggests that the cosmos imprints a part of its energy onto you, giving you a unique set of qualities that are yours to harness, develop, and bring to life. Your purpose is not something you have to create from scratch. It is something you uncover and step into over time. Much like the stars that reveal themselves at night, your purpose emerges as you grow and expand your awareness. Through self-discovery, life experiences, and introspection, the calling within you becomes clearer. The process may not always feel straightforward, and there may be times when your path feels clouded or uncertain. But just as stars are constant even behind clouds, your purpose remains a steady presence, ready to guide you when you are open to receive its wisdom. One way to tune into this purpose is by following the subtle signs around you. The universe often speaks in whispers, placing signs and synchronicities along your path. These can come in the form of chance meetings, repeated symbols, or even an inner nudge that urges you to take a particular step. Each sign is a reminder that you are not alone, that you are part of a greater cosmic journey. Trusting these signs and acting on them allows you to align more closely with your purpose. In doing so, you become more attuned to the rhythm of the universe, feeling supported by something vast and timeless. Living with the awareness that your purpose is written in the stars also brings a profound sense of peace. You begin to realize that you are exactly where you are meant to be, even when life feels uncertain. Every experience, no matter how small, contributes to your purpose. There is no wasted time, no missteps. Each moment is a stepping stone on the path of your soul's journey. When you trust in this design, you allow yourself to relax into the present, knowing that you are being guided by a force that has always been and will always be with you. Recognizing that your purpose is written in the stars means understanding that you are here for a reason, one that is unique to you. No one else can walk your path. No one else can bring the same gifts to the world. Embracing this truth frees you from comparison and self-doubt, allowing you to focus on what you are meant to do, rather than what others are doing. This knowledge is liberating, empowering you to step boldly into your calling, knowing that your contribution matters. Like the stars, shines continuously, illuminating the way forward. You are here to embody it, to live it fully, and to share it with the world. This journey is both individual and collective. As you fulfill your purpose, you contribute to the harmony of all things. In embracing the idea that your purpose is written in the stars, you align with the timeless truth that you are a vital part of the universe, and your existence is purposeful, radiant, and deeply connected to the cosmic dance of life. The journey of self-realization is one of the most powerful undertakings you can embrace. It is an exploration into the depths of who you truly are, beyond societal expectations, roles, or fleeting identities. Self-realization is the process of awakening to your true nature, the part of you that remains constant despite life's changes. It is about coming into contact with your authentic self, understanding your purpose, and living from a place of inner truth. This journey requires courage, patience, and dedication, but the rewards are transformative. Self-realization opens the door to a life of profound clarity, peace, and fulfillment. Begins with self-awareness, the practice of observing your thoughts, emotions, and actions without judgment. This awareness allows you to see how your mind works, to recognize patterns and habits that may be limiting you. Often we identify strongly with our thoughts, believing that we are defined by them. However, through self-awareness, you realize that you are not your thoughts, you are the observer, the consciousness behind them. This understanding creates a powerful shift, freeing you from negative thought patterns and reactions that have held you back. With this newfound clarity, you become empowered to make conscious choices rather than acting out of habit or conditioning. Another essential part of self-realization is self-acceptance. As you dive deeper into self-awareness, you'll likely encounter aspects of yourself that are difficult to face. These could be unresolved fears, insecurities, or past mistakes. Self-acceptance means acknowledging these parts of yourself without judgment, understanding that they are part of your human experience. True acceptance brings peace, because it allows you to let go of shame, guilt, or regret. When you fully accept yourself, you no longer feel the need to prove anything to the world. You become whole within yourself. This wholeness is empowering and allows you to move through life with confidence and inner strength. In the process of self-realization, you also come to understand the nature of your desires and goals. Often we chase external achievements, believing they will bring us happiness or validation. But as you connect with your authentic self, you realize that true fulfillment comes from within, not from outside sources. External accomplishments can provide satisfaction, but they are not the foundation of lasting happiness. When you understand this, you are free to pursue your goals from a place of passion and purpose, rather than as a means to prove your worth. This alignment with your true desires brings a sense of inner peace and joy that external success alone cannot provide. Realization also involves letting go of limiting beliefs. Throughout life, you are exposed to various ideas about who you should be, what you should achieve, and how you should behave. Many of these beliefs are imposed by society, family, or past experiences. But as you grow in self-awareness, you begin to question these beliefs, discerning which ones truly resonate with you and which ones hold you back. Letting go of limiting beliefs can be challenging, as they often feel deeply ingrained. However, when you release them, you open yourself to new possibilities and a sense of freedom that allows you to explore your potential without constraint. In self-realization, you cultivate a deeper connection to your intuition. Intuition is your inner compass, the voice within that guides you toward what is true and right for you. When you're disconnected from your authentic self, it can be difficult to trust your intuition, as it often goes against logic or societal expectations. But as you align more closely with your true nature, your intuition becomes stronger and more reliable. Trusting this inner guidance helps you make decisions that align with your highest self, leading to a life that is more purposeful and fulfilling. Intuition becomes a trusted friend, helping you navigate life with clarity and confidence. Realization also brings a profound sense of interconnectedness. As you shed false identities and limiting beliefs, you recognize that you are part of something greater than yourself. The boundaries between you and others begin to dissolve, and you understand that we are all connected by a shared essence. This realization fosters compassion and empathy, as you see that everyone is on their own journey of self-discovery and growth. It softens judgments and opens your heart, allowing you to relate to others from a place of love and understanding. This sense of interconnectedness transforms relationships and creates a deeper sense of unity with all of life. Self-realization leads to a life of authenticity and alignment. You become more attuned to your inner truth, and every aspect of your life begins to reflect this alignment. Your actions, relationships, and goals resonate with who you truly are, rather than who you think you should be. This authenticity is liberating because it frees you from the pressure to conform or seek approval from others. Instead, you live from a place of integrity and purpose, guided by your inner wisdom. Life becomes a joyful expression of your true self, unencumbered by the limitations of fear, doubt, or insecurity. The power of self-realization is transformative, bringing you into harmony with yourself and the world around you. It empowers you to live a life that is meaningful, joyful, and aligned with your highest potential. This journey is not a destination but a continual unfolding, a deepening of your connection with your true self. Every moment offers an opportunity for growth, for greater self-awareness, and for embracing the truth of who you are. Through self-realization, you discover that you are not just a product of your past or circumstances, but a unique, powerful presence with the potential to create a life of purpose, love, and fulfillment. Living in harmony with God's design means aligning yourself with the natural rhythm, purpose, and wisdom that flows through all of creation. It's a way of life rooted in the understanding that every person, creature, and element in the universe is woven into a vast, interconnected design. This design is not accidental, it's purposeful, intricate, and guided by divine intelligence. Embracing this truth opens the door to a life of peace, joy, and balance, where you become attuned to the deeper currents that guide your existence. Living in harmony with God's design invites you to surrender to a greater vision, trusting that life's events, both joyful and challenging, are part of a loving and benevolent plan. The first step to living in harmony with this design is to cultivate awareness of the divine presence within and around you. Many of us go through life caught up in daily routines, worries, and distractions, which can cloud our awareness of the sacred. But when you take the time to look within, to pause and reflect, you begin to sense a presence that transcends the ordinary. It's the voice of intuition, the stillness in nature, or the quiet reassurance you feel during moments of peace. This presence is God's Spirit, reminding you that you are part of something larger, a design far beyond the limits of human understanding. By connecting with this divine presence regularly, you invite God's guidance into your life and open yourself to receive wisdom that can only be found in stillness and quiet. Another way to live in harmony with God's design is by embracing your unique gifts and purpose. Every individual has been given qualities, strengths, and passions that are meant to be shared. These aren't arbitrary, they are clues to your purpose, signposts pointing toward your role in the world. Embracing your gifts means acknowledging that you are not here by accident and that your contributions, however big or small, have a place in the grand design. When you live out of alignment with your true purpose, life can feel like a constant struggle. But when you lean into what brings you joy, what excites and energizes you, you tap into a flow that feels natural and effortless. This flow is God's grace moving through you, reminding you that you are exactly where you are meant to be. Living in harmony with God's design also calls for humility and surrender. There will be times when life takes you down paths you did not expect, and during these moments the human tendency is to resist, question, or try to control the outcome. However, true harmony is found not in resistance but in surrender. Surrender does not mean passivity or giving up, rather, it's an act of trust, a willingness to release control and trust that God's plan is unfolding exactly as it should. When you let go of the need to understand or control every detail, you allow divine guidance to lead you in ways that you may not have foreseen, but are ultimately for your highest good. Surrender is an act of faith, a recognition that there is a greater wisdom at work that always has your best interests at heart. Another aspect of living in harmony with God's design is nurturing a sense of gratitude for all that life offers. When you begin to see life as part of a divine plan, even challenges take on a new meaning. Instead of viewing them as obstacles or punishments, you start to recognize them as opportunities for growth, lessons designed to refine your character and deepen your understanding. Gratitude allows you to appreciate the blessings in your life and to trust that the hardships too have a purpose. In the same way that storms nourish the earth and lead to new growth, life's struggles are part of a cycle that brings about spiritual maturity. Gratitude helps you stay anchored in faith, reminding you that each experience, whether joyful or painful, is a gift that moves you closer to the divine. In harmony with God's design also means cultivating compassion and empathy for others. When you recognize that all beings are part of the same divine plan, it becomes easier to look past differences and connect with the shared humanity in each person. Compassion calls you to treat others with kindness, patience, and understanding, honoring their unique journeys. When you live with compassion, you contribute to a world that reflects God's love and harmony. This approach to relationships creates a ripple effect, inspiring others to act with kindness, forgiveness, and love. Compassion also reinforces the understanding that we are all interconnected, all part of the same design, working together to create a world filled with peace and understanding. Living in harmony with God's design means having a sense of reverence for nature and all of creation. Nature operates in perfect balance, following cycles and patterns that are incredibly complex yet function in perfect harmony. Every sunrise, season, and changing tide is a reminder of the wisdom embedded in creation. Observing nature teaches you to trust in the rhythm of life and to appreciate the beauty of each moment. It shows you that, just as nature evolves and adapts, you too are constantly growing and changing, guided by an unseen but ever-present force. Reverence for nature brings you closer to the divine and helps you recognize that everything in creation, including you, has a purpose within the grand design. Living in harmony with God's design is an ongoing journey of alignment, trust, and love. It's about finding peace in knowing that you are exactly where you need to be, embracing the flow of life rather than resisting it, and contributing to a world that reflects the beauty, love, and wisdom of the Creator. It's a way of living that transforms your perspective, allowing you to see every moment, every experience, and every person as a piece of a beautiful, divinely orchestrated whole. In this way, your life becomes a testament to God's design, a reflection of the sacred harmony that exists within and around you, bringing a sense of profound fulfillment and joy. In conclusion, living in harmony with God's design is about embracing the deeper wisdom that flows through all of creation, aligning ourselves with our true purpose, and surrendering to the divine plan that unfolds in our lives. It invites us to live with awareness, gratitude, compassion, and trust, knowing that everything, both joyful and challenging, has a purpose within the grand design. As we cultivate this understanding, we create lives of peace, fulfillment, and connection both to ourselves and to the world around us. May we all continue on this journey of alignment, knowing that as we live in harmony with God's design, we are contributing to the greater good, reflecting love, light, and grace in every aspect of our lives. Thank you for being a part of this moment of reflection, and may you carry this sense of harmony and peace with you as you move forward on your journey. God does not guide you to solitude to punish you or deprive you of company. No, He brings you into a space of aloneness to free you, to reveal the magnificence that lies within, untouched and unshaken by the opinions, beliefs, or limitations of others. In the quiet of solitude, you find the most profound revelations about yourself and the nature of life itself. It's an experience that, although initially unsettling, reveals itself to be a sacred space where the clamor of the world falls away, leaving only the essence of who you truly are. Solitude is where life's greatest answers emerge, for when all the noise and distractions are stripped away, the divine within you finally has a voice. There's a reason that solitude has been sought by sages, mystics, and prophets across all ages. It's not that they wish to escape life, but rather to understand it more deeply. They recognize that the deepest truths cannot be found in the words of others or in the routines of the world. These truths live within you, waiting patiently for you to turn inward and listen. Solitude offers the gift of self-awareness. It is the fertile ground where seeds of insight and wisdom take root and grow. When you're alone, you no longer feel the need to conform to others' expectations or opinions. You're free from the masks and roles that daily life imposes. In solitude, there's no need to perform, to please, or to gain approval. Instead, you begin to meet the real you, the unguarded, raw version of yourself that is rarely visible. This might be uncomfortable at first, as you face parts of yourself that you may have long avoided or denied. Yet, this is the very essence of healing. Only by recognizing every part of yourself, both the light and the shadow, can you begin to understand the power that lies within. As you settle into the quiet of solitude, you realize that it is not emptiness, it is fullness. It is the fullness of your own presence, and it is sacred. Alone, you start to perceive things that are otherwise drowned out by the demands and distractions of everyday life. You become more attuned to your feelings, your desires, and your inner voice. You begin to understand what you truly want, what you genuinely need, and where your true values lie. This is something the noise of the world rarely allows you to see clearly. Solitude lets you shed the layers that society has placed upon you, and in doing so, you reconnect with your own essence. Through solitude, you also build resilience. When you learn to be alone, you learn to rely on yourself. This isn't a matter of closing yourself off from others. It's about discovering an inner strength that makes you more grounded and self-sufficient. The world often tries to convince you that your strength comes from the people around you, from relationships, possessions, or achievements. But true strength arises from within. When you spend time in solitude, you start to see how capable you are, how much inner resourcefulness you hold. This inner strength transforms how you approach life, giving you a sense of stability that cannot be shaken by external circumstances. Solitude is also where your creativity flourishes. In the quiet, you create space for new ideas, fresh insights, and inspiration. Creativity is often stifled by the constraints of daily routine, by the constant input from the outside world. But in solitude, your mind is free to wander, to imagine, to envision without limits. The world has been shaped by those who had the courage to embrace solitude, those who dared to turn inward and bring forth ideas and creations that did not yet exist. This quiet space allows you to tap into the divine source of inspiration, to become a co-creator in your own life. And yet, solitude is not simply about finding answers or cultivating strength. It's also about building a relationship with the divine. When you are alone, there are no distractions to pull you away from the spiritual truths within. You begin to feel a connection with the infinite, an awareness of the divine presence that resides within you. You realize that solitude is not truly solitude, it is communion with a higher source. It is here that you feel loved, guided, and supported in ways that no external relationship could replicate. Embracing solitude also teaches you the art of letting go. When you spend time alone, you realize how much of your energy has been invested in things outside of yourself, in places and people that perhaps no longer serve your growth. Solitude invites you to release these attachments, to let go of what is no longer aligned with your true path. This is a liberating process. In solitude, you find that peace isn't about adding things to your life, but about shedding what is unnecessary. You begin to live more simply, more authentically, and with a deeper sense of fulfillment. The journey into solitude is not one of isolation, it is one of transformation. It is a return to your own wholeness, a journey back to the sacred truth that you are enough. In solitude, you find that the peace, strength, and wisdom you once sought outside yourself have always resided within you. As you embrace being alone, you realize that you are never truly alone. You are supported by a divine presence connected to the whole of creation. The power of solitude lies in this realization. It is the discovery that within you exists everything you need, and in that understanding, you find true freedom. In moments of solitude, you find a hidden reservoir of strength within yourself, of power that only becomes apparent when the outer noise fades and you are left with your own essence. Discovering inner strength isn't merely a process of building resilience or becoming self-reliant. It is a journey to uncover the divine power within you, a journey that transforms you in ways you may have never thought possible. When life places you in situations where you have no one to turn to but yourself, you often come face to face with this inner strength for the first time. These are the moments when you may feel alone, unsupported, or even vulnerable. Yet it is precisely in these moments of perceived vulnerability that you begin to access a deeper strength. This strength is not something external that you must acquire, it is something intrinsic that you must uncover. It has been within you all along, quietly waiting for you to recognize it. Many of us live under the illusion that our strength comes from external sources, our families, our relationships, our jobs, our achievements. These can indeed provide support, but they are not the foundation of who we are. True strength doesn't rely on external conditions, for it is born from a place that is unshakable, untouchable by the temporary events and circumstances of the world. Inner strength is your core, the essence that remains steady and whole regardless of what happens around you. Discovering this strength requires you to release your attachment to external validation and to learn to look within. The journey to inner strength begins with self-trust. So often we doubt our own abilities, questioning whether we are truly capable of handling life's challenges on our own. This doubt weakens our perception of ourselves, creating a false dependency on others. However, when you learn to trust yourself, you begin to see that you possess the resources to overcome obstacles, to create solutions, and to stand firmly on your own. Self-trust is the foundation of inner strength, for it is the faith that you can rise to any challenge and thrive, not because of others, but because of who you are. Then becomes an essential part of this journey. When you spend time alone, you confront your own thoughts, your fears, and your doubts. You might feel uncomfortable or even fearful at first, as the silence reveals parts of yourself you have kept hidden. But as you sit with yourself, as you observe these feelings without judgment, you begin to see that you are not defined by your fears. Beneath every fear is a strength waiting to be acknowledged. This is where inner strength is born, not from denying your fears, but from facing them and realizing that they do not control you. As you delve deeper into this inner strength, you start to release the need for others' approval or validation. You understand that your worth does not depend on anyone else's opinions, that it is not tied to your achievements or the roles you play. This recognition frees you, allowing you to live authentically and confidently. When you no longer need validation from others, you are empowered to make choices that are aligned with your true self. This inner alignment is a profound source of strength, for it means that you are no longer swayed by the changing tides of public opinion or external expectations. You become anchored in a place of self-assurance and peace. Another aspect of discovering inner strength is recognizing the resilience you have accumulated through your life experiences. Every challenge you have faced, every hardship you have overcome, has contributed to the depth of your strength. Even the moments when you felt weak or defeated were not indicators of a lack of strength, but rather stepping stones in its development. When you reflect on these experiences, you see that your strength has always been present, quietly growing through every trial, expanding with every setback. This is why adversity is often a catalyst for inner growth. It draws forth strength you might not have known you possessed. The beauty of inner strength is that it's not about harshness or rigidity. It is about a quiet, steady resilience. True strength does not require you to be unfeeling or stoic. Rather, it allows you to feel deeply, to live fully while remaining grounded. Inner strength enables you to be vulnerable, to connect with others, and to experience the fullness of life without fear of being overwhelmed. It is a strength that is flexible, adaptive, and compassionate, allowing you to embrace life's highs and lows with equal grace. Inner strength also opens the door to your own potential. When you trust in your abilities and are no longer bound by self-doubt, you find that there is far more you are capable of achieving than you once believed. You begin to pursue dreams you had set aside, to take risks you once feared, and to live a life that reflects your true desires. This is the ultimate gift of inner strength, the freedom to be yourself, to live authentically, and to manifest your highest potential. As you discover your inner strength, you realize that you are never truly alone, for this strength is a connection to something greater than yourself. It is a divine power, a sacred presence within that guides, supports, and sustains you. This realization fills you with a sense of peace and security, for you know that no matter what life brings, you have within you the strength to rise. Inner strength is not just a personal trait, it is a testament to the divine essence within you, a reminder that you are powerful beyond measure. Dependence often begins innocently. From childhood, we are taught that it's natural to rely on others, family, friends, society, institutions. We learn that our safety, happiness, and even our self-worth are somehow tied to these connections. And while relationships and community are essential parts of human experience, an illusion can creep in, an illusion that we are incomplete without these external attachments, that we need others' approval, validation, and support to feel whole. Breaking free from this illusion of dependence is not about isolation or detachment, it's about reclaiming your inherent power and understanding that everything you truly need is already within you. The journey of breaking illusions of dependence begins with self-awareness. Many people go through life unconsciously holding on to relationships, habits, or beliefs that are rooted in the fear of being alone or unsupported. This fear is powerful. It convinces us that we cannot survive on our own, that our identity and value come from external sources. We cling to these attachments, seeking security and affirmation, not realizing that they may actually be limiting us. This illusion of dependence keeps us from recognizing our inner strength and discovering who we truly are beyond the roles we play or the expectations others place upon us. When you begin to see this illusion for what it is, you start to understand the subtle ways in which it affects your decisions and emotions. Perhaps you find yourself seeking constant reassurance from others or feeling anxious when you don't receive the validation you're used to. You might notice how often you conform to others' expectations, even when they don't align with your true desires. Each of these patterns stems from the belief that something outside of you is necessary for your happiness or worth. But when you step back and observe these tendencies, you begin to question, what if I am enough as I am? What if my worth is not dependent on anyone else? As you start to release these dependencies, you come face to face with the discomfort of letting go. Breaking free from the illusion of dependence can be challenging because it requires confronting fears of inadequacy and loneliness. These are not easy feelings to face, and for many the instinct is to resist or ignore them. But true growth lies in embracing this discomfort, allowing yourself to sit with these fears without judgment. By doing so, you begin to see them for what they are: temporary emotions, not truths. You realize that the feeling of incompleteness is not a reflection of who you are. It's a product of conditioned beliefs that you are finally ready to shed. In this process of letting go, you discover a profound sense of freedom. When you stop relying on others to define your value, you experience a lightness, a liberation from the weight of others' expectations. This newfound freedom allows you to make choices based on what resonates with your authentic self, rather than what pleases or impresses others. You start to trust your intuition more deeply, finding guidance from within instead of constantly seeking advice or approval from outside sources. This self-trust is empowering. It shows you that you are capable of navigating life's challenges on your own terms. Breaking the illusion of dependence also leads to healthier, more balanced relationships. Paradoxically, when you stop needing others to complete you, you become a better partner, friend, or family member. This is because you are no longer approaching relationships from a place of lack or neediness. Instead, you are able to give freely and receive openly without clinging, knowing that your happiness does not hinge on any one person or circumstance. Relationships rooted in mutual respect and love flourish when dependence fades, as they are free from the strain of unrealistic expectations. Another aspect of breaking this illusion is recognizing that material possessions and external achievements do not define your worth. Society often encourages us to equate success with accumulation, whether of wealth, status, or accolades. But as you let go of dependence on these external symbols, you find a deeper source of contentment that is not tied to fleeting accomplishments. Your sense of self becomes anchored in something unchanging, your own inner value, which exists independently of external circumstances. This shift allows you to pursue goals and dreams from a place of inspiration rather than pressure, making the journey itself fulfilling, regardless of the outcome. You may also find a closer connection to the divine or the universal spirit within you. When the distractions of dependence fade, you become more attuned to the quiet wisdom within, the intuitive voice that has always been there, guiding you. This inner connection provides a source of strength and support that is far more powerful and enduring than anything external. You realize that you are not alone, you are part of a larger, interconnected whole that sustains you in ways no individual relationship or achievement ever could. Letting go of dependence is not about rejecting help or isolating yourself. It's about recognizing that at your core you are whole, complete, and capable. It's about understanding that while relationships, achievements, and material comforts can enrich your life, they do not define it. You have everything you need within you, the wisdom, strength, and love to face any situation that comes your way. When you break free from the illusion of dependence, you open yourself to a life of true empowerment and authenticity. You become a person who chooses relationships and experiences not out of need, but from a place of genuine connection and joy. This is the power of independence, a life that is built on self-trust, inner peace, and the unshakable understanding that you are enough, just as you are. Self-realization is the profound journey of discovering who you truly are beyond the layers of identity shaped by society, expectations, and even your own mind. At the core of this journey lies a divine connection, a sacred, inner relationship with the universal spirit or divine presence within you. This connection is the key to understanding your true nature, your infinite potential, and the peace that exists at the center of your being. Self-realization through divine connection is not about becoming someone new. It's about remembering who you have always been beneath the distractions and illusions of the external world. From an early age, we are taught to seek identity and worth from outside ourselves. We are conditioned to believe that our value is tied to our achievements, relationships, and possessions. But true self-realization requires us to look beyond these external markers and connect with something much deeper, the essence of who we are as spiritual beings. This essence, often referred to as the divine self, is the unchanging, eternal part of you that exists beyond the mind and body. It is the part of you that remains untouched by life's highs and lows, grounded in the knowledge that you are a manifestation of a greater universal power. To embark on the journey of self-realization through divine connection, you must first cultivate awareness. Awareness is the foundation of spiritual growth. It begins by observing your thoughts, emotions, and actions without judgment, understanding that you are not defined by them. This is a crucial step because in becoming aware of the patterns of the mind, you create distance between who you truly are and the identity created by the mind. In this space, you begin to sense a greater presence, a divine consciousness that exists within you, waiting to be recognized. This is the first encounter with your true self, a glimpse of the divine connection that underlies your existence. As you deepen this awareness, meditation becomes an invaluable tool. Meditation allows you to quiet the mind dissolving the constant stream of thoughts that often clouds your perception. In the stillness of meditation, you can feel a profound sense of peace, a peace that is not dependent on any external factor. This peace is the essence of divine connection. It is the recognition that within you lies a wellspring of calm, wisdom, and love that is always accessible, regardless of life's circumstances. In these moments, you realize that the divine is not something outside of you. It is the very foundation of your being. Through divine connection, self-realization also brings a shift in perspective about the nature of life itself. You begin to understand that life is not something happening to you, but something that is flowing through you. This realization allows you to see yourself as a co-creator with the divine, an active participant in the unfolding of your own existence. You realize that every thought, belief, and intention shapes your reality. With this awareness, you begin to take responsibility for your own experience, knowing that you have the power to shape your life in alignment with the divine will within you. Another profound aspect of self-realization through divine connection is the dissolution of fear. So much of human experience is dominated by fear of failure, loss, rejection, or the unknown. But when you are connected to the divine, you recognize that your essence is eternal, that nothing in the material world can diminish your true self. This understanding frees you from fear, for you know that you are supported by an infinite power that transcends all worldly limitations. As fear dissolves, you are liberated to live authentically, guided by your inner truth, rather than by the dictates of others. As you deepen your connection with the divine, your sense of self expands to encompass a greater love and compassion for all of life. You see that every being is an expression of the same divine essence, that the love within you is a reflection of the universal love that permeates all of existence. This realization naturally leads to a life of compassion, kindness, and empathy, as you understand that the separation between yourself and others is an illusion. In recognizing the divine within you, you also recognize it within everyone you encounter, fostering a sense of unity and harmony with the world. Self-realization through divine connection reveals that you are not merely a limited, physical being, but an embodiment of divine consciousness, a unique expression of the infinite. This understanding transforms how you relate to yourself, others, and the world. You no longer feel the need to search outside for happiness or validation, for you understand that true fulfillment lies within, in the boundless love, peace, and joy that is your divine nature. Life becomes less about acquiring and achieving, and more about expressing and expanding this divine essence within you. Self-realization is a journey without an end, a continual unfolding of deeper layers of truth. Each step brings you closer to the awareness that you and the divine are one, that your life is a sacred journey of discovering and expressing this oneness. In this realization, you find the ultimate freedom, a freedom not dependent on circumstances or possessions, but on the unshakable knowledge of who you truly are. As you live from this place of divine connection, your life transforms into a reflection of the peace, wisdom, and love that is your true self. Liberating yourself from the need for validation is one of the most transformative shifts you can experience. From an early age, many of us are conditioned to seek approval from those around us, parents, teachers, friends, colleagues, and even society at large. We learn to measure our worth by how others perceive us, creating a habit of looking outside ourselves for a sense of belonging, importance, and value. But this reliance on external validation can become a subtle prison, one that limits our self-expression, clouds our judgment, and prevents us from fully embracing who we are. But true liberation lies in breaking free from this need and finding an unshakable sense of self-worth that exists independently of others' opinions. The journey of liberating the self from validation begins with self-awareness. Often the need for validation is so deeply ingrained that we might not even realize how much it influences our decisions, thoughts, and actions. For instance, we may find ourselves hesitating to share our ideas or make bold choices, fearing rejection or judgment. We may constantly adjust our behavior, seeking approval, hoping others will acknowledge our worth. This pattern keeps us in a cycle of seeking and reacting, which ultimately makes our happiness contingent on something outside ourselves. However, the moment we become aware of this pattern, we take the first step toward freedom. Awareness gives us the power to observe these habits without judgment, seeing them for what they are, learned responses that no longer serve us. As we gain awareness, we begin to understand that our worth is intrinsic. It does not depend on anyone else's validation because it comes from within. This shift in understanding is powerful, as it helps us recognize the illusion that others hold the key to our self-worth. No one else can define your value, because value is not something that fluctuates based on outside opinions. It is an inherent quality of who you are. Embracing this truth liberates you from the need to constantly perform or prove yourself. You realize that you are enough as you are, and that your unique qualities are valuable, regardless of whether others acknowledge them. Breaking free from validation also involves facing the fear of rejection. Often the need for validation is rooted in a deep-seated fear of being judged, dismissed, or excluded. This fear can create anxiety and lead us to conform to others' expectations, even when they don't align with our authentic selves. But when we learn to confront this fear, we realize that rejection is not a reflection of our worth. It is simply an indication that our path, our thoughts, or our values may not resonate with everyone, and that is perfectly okay. By embracing rejection as a natural part of life, we free ourselves from the pressure to be universally liked or accepted. We give ourselves permission to be authentic, even if that means standing alone at times. Cultivating self-trust is another essential part of this journey. When you trust yourself, you no longer feel the need to look outside for guidance or reassurance. Instead, you turn inward, relying on your own intuition and wisdom to make decisions. Self-trust means listening to your inner voice and honoring your values, even if others may not understand or agree with them. This inner guidance is a steady foundation that grounds you, making you less susceptible to others' opinions. As you develop self-trust, you become more confident in your choices, knowing that your value does not depend on validation, but on your alignment with your own truth. Liberating yourself from validation also fosters greater resilience. Life will inevitably bring moments of criticism, disapproval, and misunderstanding. When you rely on validation for your sense of self-worth, these moments can feel crushing, as though your value is being called into question. But when your worth is rooted in self-acceptance, you become less affected by external opinions. You realize that no one else has the power to define you, and you are free to learn and grow from feedback without taking it personally. This resilience allows you to pursue your passions, express your ideas, and follow your path with courage, knowing that criticism cannot diminish your inherent worth. As you release the need for validation, you also open the door to authentic relationships. When we seek approval, we often show others only the parts of ourselves that we think will be accepted or praised. This creates a filtered version of who we are, which can prevent true connection and understanding. By embracing your authentic self, without the need for validation, you allow others to see you as you are, flaws, strengths, and all. This honesty encourages deeper, more genuine relationships, as you attract people who appreciate you for who you truly are, not for the image you project. Liberating yourself from validation brings an inner freedom that is both empowering and peaceful. You no longer feel the constant pull to seek approval, nor the anxiety of wondering if you are enough. Instead, you feel a quiet confidence, a knowing that your worth is complete and undiminished by others' opinions. You become free to live according to your values, your passions, and your truths, creating a life that reflects who you truly are. This is a life of self-acceptance, where you are no longer swayed by external validation, but are guided by your own inner compass. In embracing this journey, you discover that the only validation you truly need is your own. This inner approval is the foundation of self-love and fulfillment, allowing you to experience a profound sense of peace and liberation. When you no longer look to others to define your worth, you are free to be yourself fully, to express your unique gifts, and to create a life that resonates deeply with your soul. Holds a profound and often overlooked purpose in the process of manifestation. In solitude, the mind quiets, distractions dissolve, and the space within us becomes fertile ground for intention, vision, and focus. Though aloneness is often seen as loneliness, it serves a far deeper purpose when we shift our perspective. Aloneness is the place where we connect to our innermost desires, align our thoughts with our truest self, and nurture the visions we wish to bring into reality. It is a sacred space where creation begins, undisturbed by the noise of the outer world. To manifest powerfully, one must learn to embrace this space as the bridge between intention and reality. When we are alone, we gain clarity about what we truly want without the influence of others' expectations or opinions. In the presence of others, even subconsciously, we tend to alter or adjust our desires to fit into what's deemed acceptable or desirable by those around us. This can dilute the purity of our intentions, making them less potent for manifestation. In solitude, however, we are free to explore what truly resonates with our soul. This clarity is essential, for the universe responds not to vague wishes but to desires that are deeply felt and clearly defined. When you know exactly what you want, undistorted by external voices, your desire gains a powerful magnetism that draws it closer to you. Aloneness also strengthens our connection to the inner self, the part of us that is in constant alignment with the universe's flow. In this state, we access the still, small voice within, our intuition. This inner guidance is essential in the manifestation process, as it provides subtle yet powerful insights and nudges that steer us toward our desires. Often these insights can be drowned out by the constant activity and noise of life, but in solitude, they emerge with clarity. The more time we spend in quiet aloneness, the more we develop trust in this voice. In this way, solitude becomes not only a tool for manifestation, but also a source of profound personal guidance. Furthermore, the energy required for manifestation is amplified in solitude. When we are alone, we can focus our mental, emotional, and spiritual energy on a single vision. In the presence of others, our energy often disperses, divided between various conversations, thoughts, and emotional exchanges. In aloneness, however, our energy becomes like a laser, intensely focused and directed toward our goals. This concentrated energy is essential for manifestation, as it fuels our intentions and sends a clear signal to the universe about what we want to create. Just as a magnifying glass focuses sunlight to create fire, our concentrated energy in solitude ignites the manifestation process. Aloneness also allows us to cultivate patience, an often undervalued component of manifestation. When we are alone, we learn to sit with our desires without feeling the need to immediately act or seek reassurance from the outer world. This stillness teaches us that creation is a process that unfolds in its own time. By resisting the urge to rush or control outcomes, we surrender to the universe's timing. This surrender is not passive, it's a powerful statement of trust that the universe is orchestrating circumstances for our highest good. In solitude, we practice this trust, learning to wait with calm assurance rather than anxious expectation. Patience, born in solitude, becomes a silent force that accelerates manifestation by allowing us to release resistance and align fully with our desires. Another essential purpose of aloneness in manifestation is the opportunity for visualization. Visualization is the mental practice of creating a vivid image of what we desire, feeling as though it is already ours. In solitude, the mind becomes a canvas, free from distractions and interruptions, where we can paint the picture of our desired reality in vibrant detail. Through this practice, we infuse our desires with emotion, making them feel real and attainable. Visualization aligns our inner world with the frequency of our desires, drawing them closer. When alone, we can immerse ourselves in this practice, deeply connecting with the emotions and sensations of having already achieved our goals. This internal alignment is a powerful catalyst for bringing dreams into the physical world. Aloneness fosters resilience and independence, qualities that are crucial on the path to manifestation. Manifesting desires often requires us to hold on to our vision, even when outer circumstances seem unchanged or even opposed to our goals. In solitude, we learn to rely on our own inner strength, rather than seeking validation or encouragement from others. This resilience enables us to persist, to continue believing in our dreams, regardless of external evidence. When we cultivate inner strength in aloneness, we become unwavering in our commitment to our desires, and this unwavering belief sends a strong signal to the universe that we are ready to receive. Then is not a state to be feared or avoided, but a powerful space of creation and connection. In solitude, we clear away distractions, sharpen our focus, and align deeply with our intentions. We access our inner wisdom, gather our energy, and commit ourselves to our vision with undivided attention. By embracing aloneness, we create a sacred environment within ourselves where manifestation can take root and flourish. In the stillness, we discover that we are our own source of strength, clarity, and inspiration. And it is from this grounded, centered place that our desires flow effortlessly into reality. Embracing aloneness is, ultimately, embracing the creative power that lies within us all, a power that, when harnessed, makes anything possible. In conclusion, the power of aloneness in manifestation is undeniable. It is within the quiet, undisturbed space of solitude that we find clarity, focus, and an authentic connection to our deepest desires. By embracing this time alone, we tap into an inner reservoir of strength and wisdom, learning to trust ourselves and align our intentions with the universe. Solitude sharpens our vision, strengthens our patience, and fuels our resilience, making us not only stronger but more attuned to the creative force within us. When we liberate ourselves from external influences and allow ourselves to be fully present with our own intentions, we step into a space of unlimited potential where anything is possible. Thank you for allowing yourself to explore the transformative purpose of aloneness. Embrace it, for it is the sacred ground upon which dreams take root and flourish. Thank you. To understand how God guides your life, you must first accept that the Creator is closer to you than your very breath, more intimate than any thought. God's guidance isn't something far off, reserved for the special moments. It is woven into the fabric of every day, appearing softly yet unmistakably when you learn to perceive it. In the stillness of your heart lies the voice of God, yet so often this presence is overshadowed by the noise and hurry of the world. We live in a time when silence is scarce, and moments of genuine pause are often overlooked as unproductive or unimportant. However, it is within these quiet spaces that God's guidance is heard most clearly. The Creator does not compete with the din of the outer world. Rather, God speaks in a language of peace, in a whisper that is best heard when you withdraw from distraction and settle into the quiet of your own mind. The practice of silence is not merely a matter of sitting still, but of creating a receptive space within. Imagine your mind as a cluttered room filled with endless thoughts, doubts, and fears. If you are constantly rearranging this clutter, there's no room for new insight. The work of silence is to let go, to clear a space so that something divine can enter. In that receptive state, you begin to sense God's presence, a feeling that has been there all along, waiting for you to be still enough to recognize it. In moments of silence, we find ourselves becoming more aware, more in tune with the flow of life itself. There is an unmistakable peace that comes over you when you allow yourself to settle into this state. This peace is not passive, it is the very essence of divine communication. When you're quiet, God's presence becomes more than a concept, it becomes an experience. You begin to feel a connection to something far greater than yourself, something both intimate and infinite. And as you surrender to that silence, you become open to receiving insights and guidance that are not available to you in the noise of everyday thought. God's guidance does not come as a demand or as a loud declaration. It's more like a gentle nudge, a suggestion that subtly but surely points you in the right direction. This is why silence is essential. It creates the conditions in which you can perceive these gentle directions. In the absence of distraction, your own intuitive knowing, the part of you that is closest to God, begins to surface. This is where you find the answers to the questions that have weighed on your heart. Solutions come not from logic, but from a quiet knowing that feels as though it bypasses the mind altogether. For many, the challenge of silence is that it requires trust. Silence doesn't offer the immediate gratification or validation that we've come to expect in our fast-paced lives. But when you learn to trust the silence, to sit with it without expectation, you begin to discover its gifts. Answers may not come immediately or in the way you anticipated, yet they will always come in the form and timing that serves your highest good. And as you practice being still, you find that you're able to carry this awareness of God's presence even as you re-enter the noise of life. In our daily lives, we often seek guidance through external sources, asking others for advice, looking to the world to tell us which way to go. While these sources may provide useful perspectives, they are secondary to the guidance that comes from within. Only you and God truly know the path that is right for you. When you return to the quiet and listen deeply, you tap into that divine knowing, and with it comes a profound sense of peace and certainty. You may not know every detail of the journey ahead, but you will know the next step, and that knowledge alone is often enough. Another gift of God's guidance through silence is that it reminds you of your own completeness. In the busyness of life, it's easy to fall into the belief that you are somehow lacking, that there's something you must attain before you can feel whole. But in silence, in communion with God, you begin to see that there is nothing you lack. You realize that you are already complete, already a part of the divine. This understanding is the foundation upon which you can build a life of purpose and peace. It's natural to feel moments of doubt or frustration when practicing silence. The mind is often restless, bringing up fears, regrets, and desires that can make it hard to settle. But even this restlessness has its purpose, for it allows you to observe the patterns of your thoughts without being controlled by them. As you learn to let go of these mental distractions, you gradually make more room for God's voice to enter. In this way, silence becomes a transformative practice, one that not only helps you hear divine guidance but also shapes you into someone who walks with a deeper sense of faith and calm. When you understand that God's guidance begins in silence, you begin to see silence itself as sacred. You come to treasure those quiet moments as opportunities to reconnect with the divine within you. It's as though each moment of silence draws you closer to the heart of God, showing you that, despite the noise and uncertainty of life, you are always held, always guided, always loved. And as you cultivate this practice, you'll find that the need for external validation or direction lessens. You become more attuned to your inner compass, more confident in the quiet whispers that nudge you forward. You find yourself walking with a newfound sense of assurance, knowing that you are never truly alone on your journey. In every silent moment, God is there, offering guidance, peace, and unwavering presence. So allow yourself the gift of silence, for in it lies the voice of the divine, ever ready to guide you. There's a mystery woven into every desire you feel, one that goes deeper than mere wants or ambitions. We often think of desires as personal preferences, or even whims, shaped by our experiences or personalities. But in truth, your deepest desires are much more than that. They are whispers from the divine, clues left by a higher intelligence that knows who you are meant to become. These desires are not random, they are signposts, guiding you toward a life that aligns with your unique purpose and potential. When you tune into this, you begin to see your desires as sacred, as subtle reminders from God, directing you to move in harmony with your true self. When a desire first arises, it might feel like a gentle nudge or a quiet pull towards something that excites or intrigues you. You may feel drawn to a particular path, project, or idea without fully understanding why. It is easy to dismiss these feelings as daydreams, to push them aside in favor of more practical pursuits. But what if, instead of disregarding them, you approached each desire with curiosity, with the belief that this feeling, however faint, is a form of guidance? Your desires are not distractions, they are the way God communicates the unique path meant for you. Many people hesitate to embrace their desires because they confuse desire with greed or selfishness. There is often a tendency to believe that wanting more is a sign of ingratitude for what one already has. But genuine desire, the kind that stirs your heart and awakens your spirit, is not born from lack, it emerges from abundance. It arises from a place of knowing that there is so much more within you that seeks expression. This is why desires have a magnetic quality, drawing you to a greater version of yourself, to an experience of life that is richer, fuller, and more meaningful. Consider that every great achievement, every contribution that has lifted humanity, began as a desire in someone's heart. Every artist, visionary, and leader felt a pull towards something that hadn't yet been created. This pull, this feeling of wanting to bring something new into the world, was not selfish, it was a calling. In the same way, when you feel a desire stirring within you, it is the divine reminding you of the potential that lies dormant, waiting to be awakened. It's important to distinguish between fleeting wants and those deeper desires that speak to your soul. Fleeting wants often come and go, driven by external influences or temporary feelings. But the desires that are clues from the divine have a persistence to them. They do not fade easily, instead they linger, growing stronger over time. These are the desires that arise again and again, urging you forward. Even if you try to ignore them, they call to you in quiet moments, whispering of what could be, if only you would listen. Following these desires requires courage, for they often lead you into the unknown. The divine does not reveal every detail of the journey. Instead, it offers glimpses, nudging you forward step by step. This is where faith becomes essential, trusting that each desire is guiding you in a direction that serves not only your own growth, but also the greater good. When you pursue these desires, you are not only fulfilling your potential, but also contributing to the tapestry of life, adding your unique thread to the whole. Your desires, when followed, become blessings for others, for they inspire, uplift, and make the world a richer place. There will be times when doubt creeps in, when you wonder if these desires are valid, or if you're simply chasing illusions. In these moments, remember that the divine speaks through joy, excitement, and a sense of aliveness. When you think of your desires, notice if they bring a feeling of lightness, a sense of possibility. That feeling is a sign that you are on the right path. The divine does not guide you through feelings of dread or anxiety. It calls you forward through love, joy, and inspiration. Trust in these emotions, for they are the language through which God communicates with you. Many people fear that their desires are impossible to achieve, that they are not worthy of the life they envision. But remember, if God has placed a desire within you, it is because you have the capacity to bring it to life. You do not need to know exactly how everything will unfold. Instead, take the first step, however small, in the direction of that desire. With each step, you will find that doors begin to open, opportunities arise, and people come into your life to support your journey. This is the power of following divine clues. When you trust in your desires, the universe aligns to help you realize them. Embracing your desires also means embracing the growth that comes with them. Each desire will challenge you, asking you to become more than you were before. It will bring up fears, limiting beliefs, and doubts. But this is part of the process. As you confront these obstacles, you shed the layers of self-doubt, emerging stronger and more aligned with your true self. In this way, desires are also tools of transformation, pushing you to evolve into the person you are meant to be. Your desires are God's way of calling you into a greater life. They are reminders that you are connected to something vast and profound, something that knows your potential better than you do. When you honor your desires, you honor the divine within you. You step into the flow of life, moving in harmony with the purpose for which you were created. And as you follow these desires, you find that the journey itself is as fulfilling as any destination. You discover that each desire leads not just to an outcome, but to a deeper understanding of who you are and your unique place in the world. This is the gift of divine guidance, one desire at a time, leading you toward a life of purpose, joy, and profound connection. Imagination is often dismissed as fanciful, something limited to childhood, art, or entertainment. Yet when we look deeper, we discover that imagination is far more than mere fantasy. It is a direct line to something profound, a way in which God speaks to us. Through imagination, we are given glimpses of our highest potential and possibilities beyond our current reality. Imagination, then, is not just a tool for creativity, it is the voice of the divine within us, calling us to move beyond limitations and step into a life aligned with our true purpose. Imagine that every inspired thought, every vision of a better future, every moment of what if is actually God's whisper. These aren't random thoughts or idle wishes, they are signs pointing toward what is possible for you. Through imagination, the divine is gently nudging you toward your own evolution, planting within you the seeds of who you are meant to become. The life you are called to live already exists within you, and imagination is how you begin to see it, even if only in fragments. Consider how imagination opens doors to worlds we cannot yet touch but can feel deeply. When you imagine yourself achieving something that feels distant, or perhaps even impossible, there is an inner thrill, a stirring of the spirit. This is not merely the result of daydreaming, it is a spark of divine inspiration. God's voice does not come as a loud declaration, it arrives softly, appearing as images and feelings that lift your spirit. When you experience these moments of clarity, a sense of knowing that there is more within you waiting to be expressed, you are hearing God's voice. The power of imagination lies in its ability to transcend the limitations of the physical world. When you envision a life filled with peace, success, or joy, you are not limited by what currently exists, you are tapping into a realm of infinite potential. This is where the divine and human connect, where God's voice merges with your own desires, showing you the possibilities that lie within. Imagination allows you to live from a place of faith, to act as though what you envision is not only possible, but already true. Imagination is also a form of guidance, a way to explore different paths without risk. Through imagination, you can test ideas, picture new ways of living, and get a sense of what feels aligned with your soul. In this way, God guides you through images and scenarios that unfold in your mind. You might imagine yourself speaking confidently, succeeding in a career, or building meaningful relationships. These images are not meaningless, they are opportunities to feel your way toward the life that aligns with your highest good. God's voice speaks through these possibilities, urging you to act on them, to bring them from thought into reality. Another essential aspect of imagination as God's voice is that it teaches you to see beyond appearances. In a world that often focuses on what is visible and tangible, imagination allows you to connect with the invisible. You learn to trust in what is felt rather than seen, in what could be rather than what is. This is faith in action, living with the awareness that there is more than meets the eye. Imagination empowers you to move beyond current limitations and trust that something greater is guiding you, even if the steps aren't entirely clear. But imagination alone is not enough, it must be nurtured with belief. To hear God's voice in your imagination, you must let go of doubt and fear. When you see yourself accomplishing great things in your mind, believe in those images. Know that they are not idle fantasies, but invitations from the divine. Doubt is what disconnects us from this guidance, causing us to dismiss imagination as unrealistic or foolish. However, when you trust that what you imagine is a true reflection of your potential, you allow God's voice to guide you through the visions you hold. One of the most beautiful qualities of imagination is that it's always available to you. No matter your circumstances, you can close your eyes and step into a world of possibility. This is a reminder that divine guidance is always accessible. It is not reserved for a select few or for special moments. Every time you turn inward and imagine a better life, you are in conversation with God. You are aligning yourself with the divine energy that wants to see you grow, expand, and reach heights you might not have previously thought possible. God's voice in your imagination is also a reminder that you are never alone in your aspirations. The visions and dreams you hold are not yours alone, they are a collaboration between you and the divine. Every inspired idea, every image of a brighter future is co-created. You are working hand in hand with God to bring forth something new, something that will not only bless your life but will also ripple outward to others. When you follow these divine hints, you become a channel through which God's love and wisdom flow into the world, impacting those around you in ways you may not even see. Imagination also cultivates resilience. When challenges arise, it can be easy to feel discouraged, to believe that obstacles are signs that your dreams are out of reach. Yet, through imagination, you can always return to the vision, reconnecting with the divine energy that inspired you in the first place. By revisiting these images, you rekindle the strength and determination to keep going, to see beyond the present challenge to the promise that lies ahead. This is God's way of reminding you that setbacks are not the end but part of the journey toward fulfillment. Imagination is a sacred dialogue. It is God speaking to you in images, ideas, and feelings, giving you a glimpse of what is possible when you live in alignment with your truest self. When you honor your imagination, you honor the voice of the divine within. You recognize that there is no separation between you and God, that every inspired thought is a gift, a guide, a reminder that you are constantly supported. In this way, imagination is not just a fleeting thought, it is a bridge to the divine, a voice that is ever present, waiting for you to listen, trust, and act on its guidance. Embrace your imagination as the voice of God and let it lead you. It is through imagination that you will discover your purpose, your strength, and your connection to the divine. Trust in what you see, in the life that stirs within your mind, for it is God's way of calling you forward, inviting you to step into a life beyond your wildest dreams. Faith is often spoken of as belief without evidence, yet it is so much more profound than mere optimism or positive thinking. Faith is a deep, unwavering trust in something beyond what the eyes can see or the mind can fully comprehend. It is the bridge between you and divine wisdom, a connection that allows you to access guidance, clarity, and insight from a source greater than yourself. When you live with faith, you open yourself to a world of wisdom that transcends human understanding. You begin to see that faith is not a blind leap but a powerful inner knowing that what you seek is already being guided and orchestrated by the divine. Is the foundation upon which divine wisdom flows into your life. Think of faith as the open door that allows divine insight to enter. Without faith, you close yourself off to the subtle messages, the quiet inspirations, and the moments of insight that can transform your life. Faith is the act of surrendering control, of letting go of the need to know every detail and trusting that you are being led. It is saying, I may not see the entire path, but I trust that each step is revealed in divine timing. When you adopt this perspective, you allow wisdom to come through you, guiding each decision, action, and choice you make. At its core, faith requires humility, a willingness to acknowledge that you don't have all the answers. Faith says, I am open to receive. In a world that often demands certainty and guarantees, faith invites you to rest in the mystery of life, to let go of the need for constant proof and validation. This act of surrender opens you up to divine wisdom that might otherwise be blocked by the noise of doubt and fear. By embracing faith, you create space for the divine to work through you, to shape your life in ways that go beyond your human understanding. Living in faith does not mean ignoring reality, it means seeing beyond appearances. Divine wisdom often speaks through the subtle, the invisible, the intuitive. Faith tunes your awareness to these signals, helping you recognize guidance in places you might otherwise overlook. It is that inner nudge to take a different route, that sudden inspiration that strikes out of nowhere, or the quiet sense of peace that accompanies a choice. Through faith, you begin to see these moments as messages, as wisdom coming directly from the divine. What might appear as coincidences or random events are, in fact, divine guidance aligning you with your purpose. When challenges arise, faith is what sustains you, what keeps you anchored even when circumstances seem chaotic. Challenges often come with uncertainty, pushing us to question, why is this happening? But through faith, you can move beyond the need to understand every aspect of your situation. You learn to trust that every challenge, every obstacle, has a purpose that serves your growth. Faith reminds you that you are always being guided, even in the hardest moments. Instead of resisting challenges, you accept them as opportunities to access deeper wisdom, knowing that each experience brings you closer to who you are meant to be. Faith also allows you to tap into a wisdom that understands the interconnectedness of all things. With faith, you begin to realize that your life is part of a larger tapestry, that each decision and action has meaning beyond what is immediately visible. This awareness brings a sense of peace, as you come to understand that you are part of a divine plan, a cosmic unfolding. The divine is always at work, weaving together circumstances, relationships, and experiences in ways that support your highest good. Faith helps you see this interconnectedness, to trust that what is meant for you will always find its way to you. The beauty of faith is that it requires no physical proof to be powerful. It operates in the unseen, the subtle, the inner world. Faith teaches you to rely on your intuition, to follow your instincts, and to listen to the whispers of your heart. It is through these quiet, often overlooked signals that divine wisdom communicates. This wisdom doesn't always come in loud, obvious ways. It may be a gentle feeling, a fleeting thought, or a quiet certainty. Faith sharpens your ability to hear these messages, allowing divine guidance to flow effortlessly into your life. In many ways, faith is an invitation to live with open hands and an open heart, to release the need to control outcomes and trust that what is unfolding is meant for your highest good. This doesn't mean that life will always be easy or that there won't be challenges. But it does mean that with faith, you are never alone in facing those challenges. You have access to divine wisdom that sees the bigger picture, that knows the end from the beginning. By aligning with this wisdom, you find strength, clarity, and a deep sense of peace, even amid uncertainty. Faith is not passive, it is an active choice to believe in divine timing, in the perfect unfolding of events. Every time you choose faith, you choose to align yourself with a wisdom that surpasses human knowledge. You step out of fear and into trust, out of doubt and into knowing. Faith allows you to move forward, even when the path is unclear, because you trust that each step you take is divinely guided. It is this trust that connects you to wisdom beyond measure, a wisdom that lights the way and assures you that you are exactly where you need to be. Faith transforms your life by shifting your focus from what is temporary to what is eternal. It teaches you that the circumstances of today are just part of a larger journey, that there is always a divine purpose at work. With faith, you learn to see every experience, every interaction as an opportunity to grow, to expand, and to connect with your higher self. Divine wisdom flows most freely into a heart that trusts, that believes, and that knows it is supported. In choosing faith, you choose to live in harmony with this wisdom, allowing it to guide you toward a life of purpose, peace, and profound fulfillment. Every day, life presents us with signs, subtle clues, and hints that offer guidance, reassurance, and insight. These signs are not random, they are messages from the universe, a way of communicating that often goes unnoticed unless we are truly present. Signs are there to remind us that we are not alone in our journey, that there is a higher power, a divine intelligence, subtly directing us toward our purpose, helping us make decisions, and providing comfort during challenging times. Often these signs appear when we least expect them. They might come as a line in a song that resonates deeply, or as a chance encounter that shifts our perspective. They could be as simple as a butterfly landing near you when you're lost in thought, or seeing repeated numbers, like 1111, which many believe signify alignment. While these signs may seem ordinary on the surface, they carry a depth of meaning if we pause to pay attention. Each one of us has an inner guidance system, an intuition that connects us to the divine, helping us interpret these signs in a way that makes sense for our unique path. Signs often come in response to our thoughts, feelings, or prayers. When we're struggling with a decision or feeling uncertain, we may ask for guidance, even subconsciously. It's in these moments that signs appear, as answers to our unspoken questions. A friend might say exactly what you need to hear, or you might stumble upon a book or article that speaks directly to your situation. These experiences are not mere coincidences, they are the universe's way of responding to your inner call for clarity. When you begin to notice and trust these signs, life takes on a new sense of flow, as if a guiding hand is gently steering you in the right direction. One of the most powerful aspects of these signs is their ability to reassure us during times of doubt or fear. Life's journey is rarely a straight path. It's filled with twists, turns, and moments of uncertainty. In these times, signs remind us that we're supported, and that everything is unfolding as it should. A person might find a feather in their path, for instance, which some interpret as a reminder that they're not alone. Others might notice recurring symbols or numbers that have personal meaning. These signs serve as gentle nudges, whispering, "Trust the process. You are exactly where you need to be." To truly notice these signs, we must cultivate presence. In a fast-paced world filled with distractions, it's easy to miss these subtle messages. But by slowing down, tuning in, and becoming more mindful of our surroundings, we start to notice things we may have previously overlooked. Meditation, journaling, or simply taking quiet moments in nature can open us up to the world around us, making it easier to recognize when a sign appears. When we are present, our intuition becomes sharper, guiding us toward understanding the meaning of the signs in our lives. Sometimes we may feel frustrated or impatient when signs don't seem to be appearing, especially when we're seeking guidance on an urgent matter. But even the absence of signs can carry meaning. It might be an invitation to turn inward, to rely on your own wisdom, and take a leap of faith. Divine guidance doesn't always come through external signs. It can also come through the still, quiet voice within. Trust that if you don't see a clear sign, you still have the ability to make the right choice, as inner guidance is always available. There are also moments when signs come in abundance, as if the universe is emphatically confirming a direction or decision. During these times, it may feel as though everywhere you look, there is some reminder or clue that nudges you in a particular way. This kind of synchrony, where everything aligns effortlessly, is often a sign that you are on the right path. When you experience these synchronicities, take it as encouragement to keep moving forward with faith and confidence. The universe is reflecting your alignment, letting you know that your actions are resonating with your purpose. It's also important to remember that signs are not meant to control your life or make decisions for you. They are guides, gentle suggestions, or reminders. Ultimately, you have free will and the power to choose your own path. Signs are there to help, to provide clarity, and to align you with the energy of the universe, but they do not replace your intuition or your ability to make decisions. They simply make the journey easier, showing you options, possibilities, or areas that might need attention or healing. As you grow more aware of these signs, you may notice that they start to show up more frequently. This isn't because the signs are new, they've been there all along. It's simply that your awareness has expanded, allowing you to perceive the messages that were always available. This process of attunement deepens your relationship with the divine, strengthening your faith and helping you feel more connected to a world beyond the physical. Signs are a reminder of the mystery and magic woven into everyday life, an invitation to live in harmony with the universe. So the next time you see something that resonates deeply, take a moment to pause, reflect, and consider its significance. Trust that these signs are here to guide, reassure, and support you. Embrace them as part of the beautiful dance between you and the divine, a continuous conversation that unfolds as you walk your path. In these small, sacred moments, you'll find that life is always speaking to you, gently guiding you toward your purpose, and reminding you that you are never alone. Imagine living each day with the unwavering belief that you are already guided by a force far greater than yourself. To live as though guided already means to trust so deeply in the presence of divine wisdom in your life that you no longer question each step, but walk with confidence, clarity, and peace. This kind of living requires more than intellectual understanding. It asks for a complete surrender to faith, to the notion that your life is unfolding in perfect harmony with a higher plan. When you embrace this perspective, your daily existence transforms from one of doubt and struggle to one of flow and alignment. Living as though guided already means acting from a place of inner knowing, trusting that every experience, no matter how challenging or unexpected, is part of a divine design. When you trust this way, you release the constant need to control outcomes. You are no longer driven by fear or a sense of lack, for you know that what you seek is already on its way to you. Every action, every thought, and every decision becomes infused with a sense of purpose and ease. This does not mean that you are passive or without ambition. Instead, you pursue your goals with a calm confidence, knowing that each step forward is leading you exactly where you need to go. When you live as though guided, challenges no longer appear as obstacles or setbacks. Instead, you see them as opportunities for growth and refinement, a part of the journey that enhances your strength and wisdom. Trusting that guidance is ever present allows you to view difficulties as teachers, each one imparting a valuable lesson. Rather than resisting or fearing change, you lean into it, understanding that everything has a purpose. This shift in perspective brings resilience, as you recognize that nothing is truly working against you. Life, in all its twists and turns, is always moving you forward, leading you closer to your highest potential. Acting with the belief that you are already guided brings a profound sense of peace. When you trust that a higher intelligence is directing your steps, you can let go of the relentless worry that often accompanies decision-making. Choices that once seemed daunting become more manageable, as you realize that even if you make a wrong decision, it will ultimately lead you to the right place. This sense of inner peace frees you from overthinking, from the need to weigh every possible outcome. Instead, you listen to your intuition, knowing that the guidance within you is always aligned with your true path. Living as though guided already also enhances your ability to be present. So often we are consumed with thoughts of the past or anxieties about the future, missing the beauty of the present moment. But when you trust that guidance is with you, you allow yourself to fully engage with the now. Each experience becomes more vivid, more meaningful, as you understand that this moment, right here, is exactly where you are meant to be. Presence allows you to see and appreciate the subtle ways in which guidance unfolds, often in the simplest, most unexpected details of daily life. Embracing this belief requires a shift in mindset, a shift from scarcity to abundance, from fear to love, and from doubt to trust. Many of us have been conditioned to believe that we are alone in our journey, that we must rely solely on ourselves. But when you begin to see yourself as guided, you understand that there is a constant flow of wisdom, energy, and support available to you. You no longer feel the need to compete or struggle, as you trust that what is meant for you will come in due time. This faith in divine timing dissolves the anxiety of not enough and replaces it with a deep sense of sufficiency. To live as though guided also means to follow your inner voice, that quiet, persistent feeling that nudges you towards certain actions or decisions. This voice may be subtle, often drowned out by the noise of doubt or external opinions. But when you trust that you are guided, you honor this inner knowing, recognizing it as the voice of the divine within you. Every time you follow this guidance, you strengthen your connection to it, building a relationship of trust with your own intuition. Over time, this inner guidance becomes more pronounced, more reliable, helping you navigate life with a clarity that no external source can provide. Living with this deep sense of guidance also means embracing patience. Often our desires and dreams take time to manifest, and it is easy to become frustrated or disheartened. But when you believe that you are already guided, you understand that everything is unfolding in perfect timing. You let go of impatience, knowing that every delay has its purpose, every waiting period its lesson. This patience allows you to remain calm and centered, trusting that what is meant for you will arrive precisely when it's meant to. In this way, you find contentment in the journey itself, rather than obsessing over the destination. Living as though guided already means allowing your actions to stem from love, rather than fear. When you trust in divine guidance, you operate from a place of compassion, kindness, and understanding, knowing that each person you encounter is also on their own guided path. This perspective fosters a sense of unity and empathy, as you realize that we are all interconnected, all moving toward our highest potential. Love becomes the motivating force behind your actions, leading you to a life that not only fulfills you but also contributes positively to the lives of others. In this way, living as though guided already transforms your life from one of struggle to one of surrender, from scarcity to abundance, and from fear to love. It is an invitation to step into the flow of divine wisdom, to trust that you are always being supported and directed toward your highest good. This way of living doesn't promise a life without challenges, but it does promise a life of meaning, peace, and fulfillment. It reminds you that you are part of a grander design, a cosmic plan in which every experience, every relationship, and every moment is part of your unfolding purpose. With this faith, you walk each day with open hands and an open heart, ready to embrace the journey, knowing you are guided, protected, and deeply loved. Surrendering to divine timing is an invitation to let go of control, to release the need to know exactly when and how things will unfold, and to place your trust in a wisdom far beyond your own. This act of surrender is not about passivity or abandoning your dreams. It's about aligning with the rhythm of the universe, which operates in perfect harmony and timing. When you surrender to divine timing, you are not giving up your goals or desires. Instead, you are choosing to believe that there is a season and a reason for everything. It's an understanding that what is meant for you will come to you, and it will arrive at precisely the right moment, neither too early nor too late. Divine timing invites us to accept that we are not always able to see the full picture. Our perspective is limited by the immediate present and the desires we hold in our hearts. But the universe, in its infinite wisdom, orchestrates events and experiences that are often beyond our comprehension. Sometimes this wisdom may guide us to wait when we are ready to move forward or hold us back when we feel impatient. Trusting in divine timing requires a level of faith and humility, an acknowledgement that the universe's plan might differ from ours, but is ultimately for our highest good. In moments of delay or uncertainty, it's easy to feel frustrated or even disheartened. We may feel as though we are standing still while others are moving forward, or that life is somehow passing us by. But these periods of waiting are not wasted. Divine timing teaches us that every season of life has value, even those where there appears to be no visible progress. During these times, we are given the opportunity to cultivate patience, resilience, and faith. These qualities strengthen our character, preparing us for the blessings that lie ahead. What we often view as delays are actually periods of preparation. When we embrace this perspective, we can find peace and purpose even in the waiting. The process of surrendering to divine timing also invites us to release the idea of control. As humans, we are conditioned to believe that control over circumstances equates to security and success. However, true security comes not from controlling outcomes, but from trusting in a plan that transcends our understanding. When we let go of the need to control, we create space for the universe to work in unexpected and often miraculous ways. By stepping back, we allow a higher power to step in, directing us toward opportunities and experiences we may not have even considered. This relinquishing of control is not a sign of weakness, but of profound inner strength and wisdom. Surrendering to divine timing also helps us cultivate gratitude in the present moment. When we are constantly fixated on the future or worried about when our desires will manifest, we miss the beauty and blessings of the present. Divine timing encourages us to trust that everything we need in this moment is already here. It reminds us that each phase of our journey holds its own lessons, joys, and experiences. By finding gratitude for where we are right now, we shift our focus from what is missing to what is already abundant in our lives. This attitude of gratitude raises our vibration and brings us into greater alignment with our desires, allowing things to flow more naturally. One of the most powerful aspects of divine timing is the synchronicity it brings into our lives. When we surrender to this natural flow, we begin to notice that things fall into place effortlessly. People, opportunities, and events come into our lives just when we need them, as if orchestrated by an unseen hand. This synchronicity is a clear sign that we are aligned with the flow of the universe. Rather than forcing things or struggling against the current, we allow ourselves to be guided. In these moments, life feels easier, and we experience a sense of peace and clarity that confirms we are on the right path. Surrendering to divine timing also means trusting in the wisdom of no or not yet. Sometimes we receive answers or outcomes that are different from what we expected or desired. In these moments, it can be difficult to understand why certain doors remain closed or why certain paths are blocked. However, divine timing assures us that each no or delay is a redirection, a way of protecting us from situations or experiences that are not aligned with our highest good. By trusting in this wisdom, we free ourselves from disappointment and open up to even greater possibilities. So, it's important to remember that surrendering to divine timing does not mean becoming passive or inactive. Surrender is not the absence of effort, it is the presence of trust. We still take inspired action toward our dreams, but we do so with an open heart, willing to release attachment to specific outcomes. This balanced approach allows us to co-create with the universe, contributing our effort while remaining open to how things unfold. Divine timing respects our free will, guiding us gently while allowing us the freedom to choose and act. Our role is to remain receptive, to listen to our intuition, and to act when we feel called, trusting that each step is taking us closer to our destiny. Surrendering to divine timing ultimately brings a sense of peace that cannot be achieved through striving or forcing. This peace comes from knowing that there is a purpose to every experience, a reason behind every event. We learn to let go of the when and how, and instead embrace the mystery of the journey. Life becomes a dance with the divine, a partnership based on trust, love, and mutual respect. As we release our attachment to rigid timelines, we find ourselves more present, more joyful, and more fulfilled. We come to understand that life is not just about achieving goals, but about growing, evolving, and discovering our true selves along the way. Surrendering to divine timing is an act of profound faith. It's a commitment to living with trust, knowing that the universe is always working on our behalf. It is an invitation to let go of the burden of control and to live in a state of open-hearted receptivity. By aligning with divine timing, we step into a flow that carries us effortlessly toward our highest potential. We realize that we are supported, guided, and loved every step of the way. Surrendering to divine timing allows us to embrace life as a journey of becoming, a journey that unfolds perfectly and beautifully, one moment at a time. In embracing divine timing, we open ourselves to a life of trust, surrender, and peace. Rather than clinging to control, we learn to flow with the wisdom that guides each moment, knowing that every delay and every encounter is purposeful. By releasing our need to know the when and how, we allow the universe to lead us toward experiences that shape us, strengthen us, and bring us closer to our highest selves. Surrendering doesn't mean giving up on our dreams, it means believing that our dreams are unfolding in perfect harmony with a greater plan. Thank you for journeying into this understanding of divine timing. May you find comfort in trusting that what is meant for you will arrive at precisely the right moment, and that you are always being gently guided toward your greatest good.